And we are live? Yes, indeed. Thank you. First off, Jade Light going to a concert. Yeah, we're gonna make sense of this. He's completely wrong about Courtship. It's one of the best Bantam era novels.
Indeed. Courtship is a genuinely good book. He can challenge me to a duel if he disagrees.
Yeah, Blue Pick is also here. Okay, 8 people watching. So what we're gonna do for my next chronology, and this is something I can show you guys. Starting the cam, making it bigger. Volume 1 is out. This is the Old Republic era. It goes from, let me double check. I'm bad at this. Around 200,000 BBY to 980. So essentially from Dawn of the Jedi to Darth Bane. Everything in here. A German version, obviously. English one isn't done yet because people are too lazy to translate. Too busy, right? So yeah, that's out. I may do a separate video on it, but I'm not sure yet. Oh, and the prequel era one is also gonna come out very soon. I don't know when. I don't want there to be like a gigantic gap between volume 2 and the third one, which the third one is what I'm writing now, the fucking Rebellion era, which is a nightmare. I knew it was gonna be a nightmare, and it is a nightmare. Guys, any thoughts? Sivert hasn't said anything since jumping on.
I see you're wearing your stream outfit.
Yeah, official, the stream polo shirt.
So, how do you want to do this?
Good question. Okay, first off, I guess we can first look at my timeline that I put together. So this was made with a couple of different sources. First off, Joe Bongiorno's timeline, Nathan Butler's timeline, Wikipedia's timeline, and the Essential Reader's Companion. I looked at all those and I said every single one of them gets shit wrong, I think. But I also get shit wrong because there is no correct answer because this era is a fucking mess. So this is, to the best of my abilities, trying to make sense of it all.
Yeah, I disagree with a few placements here.
Okay, let's get into it.
Since I'm completely useless here, do I have to stay?
You can go if you want to. But yeah.
Yeah, okay, I mostly came to see what is happening. I have Labyrinth of Evil to
mean,
read.
it's in the
I'm
title.
100 pages out.
That's good.
Yep, I have to beat down Granny Toes and his filthy criticisms of Lucino.
Oh yeah, famously hates.
He hates Labyrinth of Evil, and unfortunately, Brennan and Marcel have lately been saying it's overrated.
Oh, that's just
Yes.
no. You can't.
Yes,
you can't say
I
that.
know. I initially was going to just continue with my Han Solo trilogies and Lando trilogy, Young Jedi Knight, New Jedi to read, but then while I was reading Outbound Flight and Cloak of Deception, I began to think, maybe I should read some prequel era stuff, and then I read Shatterpoint and Yoda Dark Rendezvous on tangents, started Labyrinth of Evil just to smack them down. Then I shall continue Revenge of the Sith, Rise of Darth Vader, while also continuing the Han Solo adventures, then Lando adventures, Crispin trilogy, Young Jedi Knights, New Jedi Order, and then I will get to the Reeves verse.
Okay, sounds good.
I have most of the Reeves books now. I'm just missing Coruscant Nights 1, The Last Jedi, and MedStar.
Oh, the best ones, except Last Jedi.
Which is the worst one?
Yeah, it is.
Well, I still have Coruscant Nights 2 and 3 and Death Star Shadow Games. Yep. Okay. I shall continue Labyrinth of Evil and then go to sleep because I feel sick. See ya. Have fun.
We're trying.
One more thing. You should get Matt Wilkinson. That would be hilarious.
Oh my god, maybe. Oh, someone in the comments said it. Wait. Yeah, may as well throw in the Wilkins timeline. Dawn of the Jedi,
Yes.
right? 200,000
Throw in-
years, 20,000 years after A New Hope.
Yes.
Okay, that's
This is when this is when someone will say it's like poetry and rhymes. The Star Wars timeline is a continuous cycle for some reason. So in the heat death of the universe will be born again, and then we have Dawn of the Jedi again.
yeah. I'm gonna make the text a bit bigger to read.
That will be wonderful.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, see you. Have
See ya.
fun.
Hmm.
Okay, so a few things. One,
One before we start. We don't have video games on here yet. That's gonna take a while to figure out.
yeah, let's just focus on comics, junior novels, and novels for today.
Okay, guys in the chat, can you read this? Maybe I should change it from what's it called, cursive to like normal.
It's not cursive. It's readable.
There's a
Not-
K, cursive.
Oh, okay. It's readable. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
So a few things. One, let's not care about dates. Like
No!
whether it's for now. Let's not talk about whether it's in 1 ABY or 1.1 ABY. Let's just focus on when it is in relation to the Battle of Yavin and when it
yeah,
is
that
in
makes sense.
relation to the other stuff. And then when we're done with the whole thing, I can readjust the timeline with dates.
Yes, because we have to keep in mind the year 0 ABY ends with month number 6. That's the last month, and then we are in 1 ABY. But most timelines treat it as like, oh, Galaxy of Fear the Hunger is in 12 ABY, like 12 months in year 0. No, that doesn't work. It's already 1 ABY. So we have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, so let's just not talk about dates at all. Just focus on
Okay, just in
how
relation,
long
like I did,
after Yavin it is.
like I did here, Rebel, like here, 2 weeks after.
Yeah,
For example.
that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna make this stand out a bit more. Those are the dates we have established. In quotations, established.
And you can also add there that the Yavin evacuation is 6 months after A New Hope.
Oh yeah, 6 months after Yavin. I'm just gonna. How do you
Because
write evacuation?
ATION.
Like this?
I think so.
Okay.
Because the way I have, when I did my like proto timeline, the way I had it sorted is I divided it into pre-evacuation and post-evacuation.
Okay.
And pre-evacuation is the really confusing part.
So let me check because I know now what the story is. Where is it? Ring? No, race. Race for survival. That's the one, apparently, the newspaper strip when they evacuate the base on Yavin, which is 6 months after.
Yes.
So, and I put it here, which is after Allegiance and Rebel Force, which seems to be accurate.
Yeah, in the final Rebel Force book, they're on Yavin.
Yeah, exactly. And
I
Allegiance
don't know
is before
whether
that.
they're in Allegiance.
I think, yeah. Wait, I remember. Because I checked the first pages of Honor Among Thieves again. I think Han and the gang are still on Yavin at the beginning of Honor Among Thieves, and they are talking about, oh, we gotta find a new base. We are looking at Hoth and stuff. So yeah, that makes sense then.
Okay, so yeah, the way I want to do this is let's not look at your current timeline and reshuffle it. Let's instead create the timeline from scratch.
Okay, so here I have written down all the titles.
Okay.
I'm also gonna
Let
make
me
this.
see. I made a list too, but let's see if we have the same things.
Okay, I just started with the old
those
stuff.
those are the strips, right?
Yes, and the pieces, whatever comics, Keeper's World and Kingdom of Ice. That's essentially one longer story. The day
Yeah.
after Death Star, that's the only story that's like completely clear. Weapons Master. I don't remember how big the current day story is because it's like a framing device to tell Leia's backstory. So I don't think this one matters too much. World of Fire. And then we got the Alan Moore nonsense.
Yeah, I don't know any of these, so but
Yeah.
they are pretty self-contained, aren't they? And they could really be placed.
Except for Tilotny
anywhere.
Froze a Shape. We have an exact placement for that one. Because Leia like breaks her ankle in it, and she has a broken ankle at the beginning of the Red Queen story arc. I think it was in the Marvel main run.
Yeah, it's in the. I remember reading it, and because she has a broken ankle, and they say we haven't told the story yet, so we can't tell you when it happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's gonna happen, and that's at the earliest at the end of this year. But I mean, the guys have to translate 3 chronologies, and I still have to write one of those. So yeah, it's gotta take a while. Sorry for English speakers. Maybe you should all just try to learn German. I already have everything in the year 0 BBY, so before the Battle of Yavin. What I'm focusing on right now, wait, I think I can scroll up. Yeah, this is part 2, the Galactic Civil War. And this is everything after A New Hope, like straight up after. Yeah, like I said, I already have the 3 years before it covered completely.
Yeah, but to be clear, you will some of the Rebel era before Yavin will be in this chronology we're talking about, right?
The Rebellion era chronology, yeah, everything is in there.
Yes. So where's the dividing line between the prequel one and the Rebellion era?
The prequel era chronology, which I have to show off again. This one, the white one, volume 2, it starts with essentially the Dynasty of Evil. That's every Sith Lord after Bane and Zena. And it ends with the Dark Times. And I ended it at 5 BBY with just some miscellaneous like Imperial events that are big enough, important enough. So 5 BBY is where volume 2 ends with the Dark Times. And then this one, the Rebellion era, it begins with a part called Profiles in History, the entire life stories essentially of Han, Lando, Luke, Leia, and the droids. And that fits in the time between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope, obviously. Covers most of that. Yeah, and then we are in the Rebellion, like Galactic Civil War part. And that's 3 BBY until 4 ABY. So 9 years. Yeah.
So anyway, I made a list of my own of things we're gonna talk about.
Okay.
I made sure not to include anything in like 3 ABY or 2 ABY. So Splinter Space, or I think the holiday special was the dividing line.
A holiday special is in 1 ABY.
Yeah, but it's pretty clear after holiday special where everything takes place because there isn't a lot.
Oh yeah, right. Everything is shoved into the first year of the conflict, like Dark Times.
Yes, so the ones I wrote down is there's 5 novels: Scoundrels, Allegiance, Choices of One, Honor Among Thieves, and Galaxy's The Ruins of Dantooine.
Yeah, here they are.
Oh, and you put Razor's Edge in. I didn't because it's a bit later.
Oh yeah, right. I guess. Okay, we can delete that one.
Rebel Force and the Galaxy of Fear are the only junior series
Exactly. Oh, I forgot to put Galaxy of Fear on, but yeah, that's also.
Yeah, and I don't know Galaxy of Fear, so you'll have to.
I know it. That's fine. Galaxy of Fear has like internal timeline problems where he switches between a 10-month calendar and a 12-month calendar. But
right.
we're gonna stick with 10.
Okay, then I put the Marvel run, of course, including the annual by Chris Claremont.
Yes.
All the newspaper strips, the Pizzazz comics or whatever.
Yeah, that's all this stuff.
Empire issue 7 and 16 and beyond.
Mm-hmm. Then
Rebellion, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few standalones I just found on Wikipedia. So Vader's Quest.
Oh, forgot that one. Yeah, okay. Vader's Quest.
Yeah, the ones I found, I don't know which ones. Vader's Quest, The Day After the Death Star, because it's easy.
Oh yeah, that's in the newspaper ones I have.
Then there were two called Shadow Stalker and Imperial Spy.
Oh yeah.
I don't know anything about them, but I put
Me
them on the
neither.
list. Okay. Devil Worlds.
Oh yeah, that's the Alan Moore nonsense up here.
Star Wars 3D,
Hmm.
which I haven't read,
Me neither.
and I'm not even sure if it's canon within Legends. There's a Boba Fett comic called Overkill.
Right. Don't know how important. Oh yeah, and this we don't have to forget.
And then Star Wars River of Chaos is a comic too, which I haven't read.
Oh yeah, I own it. I haven't read it yet, but I think that's famous for not having Luke, Han, and Leia in it.
That's good then.
Yeah, that's gonna make it easy. Yeah, and Star Wars missions, maybe. Sorry, canon. Sorry.
Yep.
It also contradicts, which is fun, because today I read The Frozen World of Ota, which is one of the newspaper comics. It has Luke shooting down Boba Fett, who's for some reason flying an Imperial TIE fighter on like this frozen world, Ota. And they don't know each other. And Boba is kind of friendly with Luke for a while, and they team up, and then he betrays him. And it's like, this doesn't fit with the holiday special, like faithful Wookiee story. And I think the explanation Nathan Butler gave in his timeline was it's far-fetched, but maybe Luke didn't recognize him because he's wearing like slightly different armor. Which
Sure.
is, yeah, let's just go with this Leland Chi level nonsense.
Okay, so we agree on what we're going to include for today.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we can't talk video games because none of us know anything
Yeah,
about them.
we'll figure that out later. I already had enough trouble. I had to fucking fit in the Elite Squadron Battlefront game with Ram Kota and X2. And it got its own chapter, which at least I didn't have to somehow rewrite the Death Star chapter to fit it in, which is at least something.
Is X2 related to X7?
No, X7 is just called X7 because he's the seventh assassin guy of this project. X2 is a clone of the Jedi Fallen Grey, and there's two clones, X1 and X2. Yeah. It's getting confusing. But yeah.
Okay.
So where do we start?
Okay, so the way I wanted to do this is if we make like a new timeline,
Mm-hmm.
and we start with the easiest things to place, which is the Marvel run, because it's all chronological except for issue 24, I think.
There are some jumps because something I added in here. Let me show you where I have it. Oh, it's not on my timeline here, but I have it here. Crimson Forever, issue 50, has a flashback story that takes place during this time somewhere. And the Stenix Shuffle also, big flashback. So
okay,
these two
I haven't read past issue 38.
Okay, but these two we have to keep in mind then. Yeah, issue 38 is great, by the way.
So if we just create like a new document.
A new doc? Oh god, can you even see this if I create? Can you see this?
Nope.
Great.
Or
how about I just share my entire fucking screen?
Yeah, sure, why not? You don't have anything to hide.
Mm-hmm. Why can't I share my... share audio as well.
No, don't worry about that.
Okay. Opening this, can you see it? Can you see
Yes.
both of it? Okay. So
And
here's the
just-
list where it starts.
Yeah, just paste in the Marvel Comics first.
Paste in.
Yeah, just so we have like something visual to work with, so we don't have to talk about it vaguely
Okay.
and keep everything in our heads.
Okay.
So my understanding is Starhoppers and Dragon Lords is basically the same story. There's no
It's back
timing
back to
between.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to back. But during Starhoppers, it's only a Han and Chewie story. So I have seen the take that we can insert the pizza, or whatever it's called, story in there, the two-parter, which is only about Luke and Leia on a mission.
Okay. Maybe for the first issue of Starhopper, but in issue 8, 9, and 10, or it's just 9 and 10, there's interludes which show Luke going to the planet he's in the next arc.
Oh yeah, because he's searching for a new base. Yeah. We can fit what are they called? Keeper's World and Kingdom of Ice. Yeah, Luke and Leia are essentially just going to a planet to ask a rebel cell to join the Alliance. That's it.
Okay, so that would have to happen like during the first 2 issues of Starhoppers, and then the next 2 issues of Starhoppers is the interludes.
Yes, that can fit.
Okay. But it's basically back to back. The Hunter, I don't care about. We can place it whenever, really,
Okay.
because it's about Jax.
I guess I can. Yes, I guess I can also just have it as like a quick paragraph or sentence, summarizing it when I get to the bigger story, which is like Dark Encounter, for example, or the Yavin Siege trio. As I
Or
call
you
it.
just put it after, in the end of the Starhoppers chapter. And just say, oh, well, Jax and that pink hair chick went on to do their own things.
Oh yeah, Amaza Foxtrain, the famous character. Okay.
And the Luke Skywalker ripoff.
Oh yeah, Starkiller Kid. Famous character. So right after Dragon Lords, then we would get the wheel.
Wait,
I
where
f-
did which one is issue 17? Where did that one? Oh, issue 17.
Oh, 17 is Crucible. It's just Luke sitting in the Falcon and thinking
Yeah.
back to this adventure. That doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
so that can be
Same
whenever.
same with Silent Drifting, which is the Ben Kenobi flashback story.
Okay. The wheel starts in the Falcon,
Mm-hmm.
and the characters are tired because, as the pros say, multiple adventures lay behind them.
Yes, and what I have seen is people put the Long Hunt, so the first annual, before it, which makes sense because I kind of want to put in like where they are wearing the same outfits and where like I've seen on Nathan Butler's list, like he puts the Pandora effect roughly around this time because Leia and Han's relationship is on a similar level as it was in New Hope. So they haven't quite changed the dynamic yet. So I can see that also fitting in here.
Okay. Everything I've seen is that the annual takes place between, I think it is 34 and 35, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, you mean before the Red Queen? I don't know.
Yeah, around the time it was released, really, but
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't.
Because
I
it's
would.
unimportant.
Yeah, I would put it here because
Okay.
I checked it. It says like they landed specifically on this one planet because Han was gonna make repairs or something on the Falcon, so there isn't really like any more set time frame.
Okay, so the only other thing I wrote about the wheel is if we go back to issue 7, they say that Vader hasn't established contact with the Empire, so he's still often spinning about in his TIE fighter.
Oh, wait. That means that one Empire comic, Savage Heart. Where do we put
Yes,
that?
because in the wheel, Vader does some telepathic thing with Luke, so Luke passes out.
Mhm.
So he's brought to the med bay of the wheel. That's why they go there. When he wakes up, he tells Leia that Vader is alive, which implies that they think he's dead.
Oh yeah, because they didn't. Yeah, so they had no contact with Vader before that.
Yeah, so the wheel must be their first interaction with Vader
It is,
after
yeah,
A New Hope.
exactly. So that's a good fixed point.
Yeah. So somewhere between Starhoppers and the wheel, we would have Savage Heart.
Yeah, I think it's just immediately after. I would put it even before Starhoppers because that's just a Vader POV.
Yeah.
And he's returning to the Emperor, and he's becoming the king of the hyenas.
Yeah. And there's also another thing, but I'll get to it when I get to it.
Okay. So after the wheel, and this is the interesting part, because at the end of the wheel story, our gang splits up. And this leads to a good opportunity for scoundrels to take place.
Okay.
Because Han has already lost his money. On the wheel, there was this little plot point about him almost getting new money to pay Jabba, but he lost it again. And now they are split up. And in the Marvel run, it pretends like he immediately went to this Outer Rim planet, the Stone Might planet. But we can squeeze in the Scoundrels plot, where he's now off on his own with Chewie and trying to make money again. And then Scoundrels happens. And then after that, he escapes to the Stone Might planet.
Yes, so in one of the timeline you linked, I don't remember which one it was, the one with the bad formatting, there's a note in the Yavin Siege trio which says that whatever issue it is, I think it's issue 27 maybe, has to take place 5 weeks after issue 23.
Mm-hmm.
And because of another story which I haven't been able to find. But so there is a bit of a time skip in
Okay.
there.
Oh, but this is the question now. Yavin Siege Trio, the first two are one story. And I mean, the third one also is very close after, but Yavin Siege Trio, that's Luke and Leia returning to Yavin for the first time since the wheel and discovering the blockade.
Yeah.
Do they have any more like single duo adventures?
Not that I know of, but maybe there's a few comic strips about it.
I don't know, unless it's in the newspaper strips. But if there's not, then we could put Whatever Happened to Jabba the Hutt, the story where Han loses the bounty on his head for a short time. We can put that before. I think it's implied to be like simultaneously, like Luke and Leia are having this Yavin blockade, they discover it. Meanwhile, Han is hunted by Jabba. So okay. I think this order would make sense.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have any problems with that. Dark Encounter is about Vader trying to find out who Luke Skywalker is.
Mm-hmm.
And he fails.
Mm-hmm.
So it's before Vader's quest. That's all I could write about it.
Definitely. And it has to be soon after, where is it? Here, the third one, where Valance returns and then has this change of heart, and that's when Dark Encounter.
Yeah. Princess Alone, I didn't have anything to write about.
Yeah, Princess Alone and the Omega Frost story arc happen about the same time. Shortly, I think, yeah, Princess Alone is happens when the first issue happens of Omega Frost, because she's dealing with Orm and Teggy.
Yeah. Okay. Omega Frost. How do you want to handle this? The Tatooine part specifically.
That's just a straight up contradiction we have to ignore. I don't think we can fix it.
Oh, and also explain to the viewers who are watching what the contradiction is.
Okay, so the contradiction is in the Omega Frost story, which is 4 issues. Luke returns to Tatooine, and he meets Fixer and Cammy from the deleted scenes of New Hope, his friends on Tatooine, for the first time since New Hope. And that doesn't work because he also returns to Tatooine for the first time in Rebel Force Renegade.
Yes.
And yeah, I was thinking maybe it works if, like, in the Omega Frost story, they don't know he's working for the Rebellion, because they still don't know in Rebel Force, but I don't think that matters, because it's just like, no, just generally them meeting is not reconcilable. You can't fix it.
Yeah, I didn't read Renegade, but in Omega Frost they say that they thought he was dead.
Okay,
So
that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
That's simply a contradiction.
Yeah, so there's really nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, I think I'm
Other
gonna
than maybe saying it's the same. It's like the same event.
I don't know if that would work, because in Renegade they meet up in I think it's in the Toshi station actually, where they meet up again.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't read it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it can work. I think I'm gonna leave their part out of Omega Frost, unless it's like really plot important. But yeah.
Okay, and Vader isn't in Omega Frost.
He isn't.
So Omega Frost could be before Vader's quest and after Vader's quest.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, we are still in the first week.
Yeah, we can't
within the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, we can't be, but I'm gonna get to that later.
We still have to be, because I'm sorry, the timeline doesn't work any other way. It's just too confusing.
It does, but let's get to that when we get there. But we know for a fact that Vader's quest has to be before the Red Queen trio.
Oh yeah, Vader's quest has to be here.
Because in Vader's quest, he finds out that the pilot's name is Skywalker. And in the Red Queen trio, he also finds out that the pilot's name is Skywalker.
Well, he learns that his name is Luke Skywalker, which is... Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I
that's
guess
how
it's confirmation, but I guess works okay.
Yeah, but it only works if Vader's quest is the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And
I guess Riders in the Void. I guess we can, since Luke and Leia are still wearing their Episode 4 outfits. I guess we can go with my assumption and just put it like before or after the Long Hunt. Like early adventures, they are still the same characters essentially. Also, that's where we're gonna put Pandora effect. And I know we shouldn't just base it on the visuals, but I mean, we don't have anything else to go on.
Yeah, and it does. Those small insignificant stories don't really matter. We can put them whenever. And it's not even. Will you even include those?
Yeah, I guess I have, because Pandora effect is big enough because it features them releasing the only Celestial that's left, the famous Woodsec. And Riders in the Void could serve as a nice little, I don't know, foreshadowing of the Yuuzhan Vong, or there's something similar. I like Riders in the Void. I want to give it a spotlight. I have 2 chapters on Crystal Star. I need 1 chapter on this.
Okay. And 50 and 70, you can do whatever you want with those. I don't know where they're supposed to be.
Crimson Forever. The Crimson Forever backstory is just about Han and Chewie doing a job for the Rebellion. So I would put this also in this first two. This is the 2-week span before Rebel Force target, by the way. I would put it maybe also in here, like the early adventure stuff. And Stenex's Shuffle, I have to check if I even put it on my makeshift timeline. No, so oh yeah, I did. Wait, after Vader's quest and before Rebel Force Trapped. Okay, this is confusing already. Because I went, yeah, okay, whatever. Gonna put it. After Vader's quest, okay.
So
Okay,
the only
this-
thing I wasn't sure about is whether or not we're going to put Omega Frost before or after Vader's quest.
Yeah, we're gonna put it before, because like I said, to me, this is the 2-week period before we get to target. Oh, and we should also say we're gonna do this right now up until 6 months.
Yeah.
After, until the blockade, the evacuation happens.
Well, so a few things. In Omega Frost, Luke is on Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
He's also on Tatooine in Renegade.
Yes.
We could just ignore that, but in Renegade it's been a few months since Luke joined the rebellion.
Yes.
So Renegade would be after Vader's quest.
Yes, that's possible because of the time skip at the end of book 2, Hostage.
Yeah, but the Red Queen trio starts out with Vader talking to a baron of some sort for the Empire, and he confronts the baron about his failures during the Omega thing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Vader waited for a while to do that because he was in Vader's quest at the time, but it seems like the Red Queen trio is right after the Omega arc.
But wait, he talks to the Baron about the Omega Frost. Let me check, because I have the comics right here. Because I recently got the final.
Start of issue 35.
35. That should be in volume 2. Let me check. 35, Dark Lord's Gambit. Okay. Page 241. There it is. Okay, opening, Luke Skywalker, he learns the name. Where does he confront the Baron?
I think it's right after. They're on a Star Destroyer.
Oh no, he's talking to the brother of Baron Teggy.
Oh, it's the brother?
Yeah, it's the brother, because the whole Teggy family is in leagues with the Empire.
Yeah, based off the dialogue, it seems like.
Wait. So brother Teggy here confirms the experiments of his other two brothers with the Omega Frost. The rebels came in. Let me check, because I know Vader is gonna reveal he has both of them cryogenically frozen.
Yeah, they're just right there.
You could say Vader just waited a little bit. How long would the wait be?
Well, I would, if we're placing the Omega thing before Vader's quest, you would say that the wait would be over a month. I would say it would be just a week or two. But you said that Omega Frost happened within the first 2 weeks of the rebellion.
Because I'm also going by Rebel Force. by the books.
Yeah, but I'm
then-
gonna place Rebel Force before Omega Frost, whatever happens. So I would put Omega Frost after Vader's quest.
Then we also have to move Princess alone.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And eventually we'd also put Renegade around the same time. And just
So we would
kind of say
put
they're the
Renegade.
same
Okay.
event.
Okay. No, we can't do that because they don't work. But so you would say. Oh, also because. Does this make sense? Because Renegade, the reason Luke returns to Tatooine is because he and his friends are gonna. It's gonna be the funeral for Big Starklighter. So this would be 2 months after his death, which I guess can work. But-
Sure.
Okay, let's just Rebel Force 3 Renegade. After Omega Frost, okay. I would have to reread
or around the
Vader's
same
quest.
time.
Yeah, I would have to reread Vader's quest, by the way. That's just a blur in my memory.
Yeah, it's like Luke meets the pilot Yal Tenev,
Mm-hmm.
who was supposed to fly out on the trench run, but he got the measles, so Luke could borrow his ship, and that's why Luke got to fly with the rebels.
Oh, that's contradicted in the Big Starklighter Empire comic.
Yeah.
Because it's Hobby's ship?
Yeah, and he got like a local food poisoning or something.
Yeah, great job there, Leland Shee. Okay, so we have Dark Encounter, which is Vader versus. So basically, he learns the name very soon after not learning it because of Valen's interference.
Yeah.
Unless we put another rebel, we have to put the rest of the previous 2 Rebel Force. Where would you put Target? 2 weeks. Remember.
Okay, so Target starts with the Emperor. And Vader and the Emperor, he gets some report from a commander or someone who says that Vader is on his way to confront the Emperor. And this is also the first time the Emperor finds out that the Death Star is destroyed.
Yeah, so this would be around before Savage Heart, but that's the prologue because we get. It was probably intended to be like at the same time, but chapter 1, Luke clearly says like it has been 2 weeks since the death, so we have to go by that and just assume the prologue takes place around here, but then the actual thing is 2 weeks later, which would put it after Dark Encounter, I would say. I would say all of this has to have happened in 2 weeks.
That would be a very eventful 2 weeks.
It is, but we don't have any other choice on it because these stories just flow into each other.
So at first I wanted to put Target before the wheel because it seemed to be, because they don't mention Vader in Target. And the wheel is their first encounter with Vader, but in Hostage they know about Vader because Leia is captured, I think. Or what happened in Hostage? Is Leia captured in Hostage?
In Hostage? Oh yeah, she gets captured by Alderanians, and they are saying, "Oh, Darth Vader is coming to our planet. You know, we're gonna give you to Vader."
Yeah, and they clearly know that Vader is around, so it would be after the wheel.
Oh yeah, okay, yes, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know Target and Hostage are very much back to back. There's maybe room for 1 or 2 little adventures in between. Because they talk about, like in the books, it's confusingly written, like they already had a bunch of adventures. Yeah, so I guess the author is keeping it vague enough that you.
But I can't say all of those things happened in 2 weeks.
That's the beauty of the Rebellion era. We have to deal with it.
Scoundrels. What would you say is the time frame of Scoundrels?
A few days, I think it was.
But like Starhoppers is a few days.
Yeah.
And Dragon Lords is definitely a few days.
Yeah.
And so is the wheel.
Yeah.
Like we're running out of time.
The wheel may actually be just 2 days. The wheel is not much. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
but we only have 14 days to work with.
No. Star Wars weeks are different. That's the only explanation we can come up with. Like, our weeks are 7 days. In Star Wars, who the fuck knows? Like, the dating system, they changed from 10 months to 12 months. Like fuck everything. We have to make a compromise here.
We're still in the first 2 weeks, Anonymous Gamer.
Yes, that's how great the Rebellion era is. Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's just ignore the travel time.
We're just gonna ignore it like most.
Let's make it Filoni Star Wars.
Yeah.
What about the time skip between? No, that can't happen either, because the Yavin siege is the first time they return to Yavin in a while, and they're on Yavin in Target.
Yeah, this is when they learn about the blockade, and the blockade is already
it referenced in Target.
In Target, yeah, they mention, they don't know why the Empire hasn't attacked yet.
Well, then it would be before, because the Empire.
Wait! Fuck off! I just remembered something. Omega Frost can't take place after Vader's quest and stuff. Omega Frost is the first time Han and Luke are meeting back up after the wheel. That's why I put it in the 2-week span.
Oh, is it?
It is. I'm gonna look for the exact dialogue, because I think it directly says, "I haven't seen you since the wheel." I think that's in there. Oh, here it is. After resolving our differences with Jabba the Hutt, Chewie and me delivered him back here and decided to hang out for a while. Chronicled in Star Wars 28. Yeah. So Omega Frost is also right after. So I have to put it back here.
Counterpoint: Han Solo isn't in Vader's quest.
He isn't in Vader's quest. Isn't he?
Don't think so.
Oh, we have to be very damn sure of it. Oh god, this is just getting too confusing.
Yeah, let's not even go into that. Anonymous Gamer, we're talking about the Marvel run, so the stories that happen would be the first 30-odd issues of the Marvel run.
Yeah. And what boxes us in is fucking Rebel Force. Because the first book establishes, it has been 2 weeks since the Death Star got destroyed.
Yeah, okay, so you're saying that because Han Solo, he's in both the first Hostage and Target, right?
He's in all of them. You can't fit Vader's quest. I mean, we do have to. There's the time skip where we could put Renegade and the stuff after it. But yeah, let me just put the rest right in here.
Yeah, we know 5 and 6 are definitely after.
Oh yeah, they have to be.
But they're also after the Red Queen trio.
Oh, right. So do we do a time skip?
Yeah, we can do a time skip between 4 and 5, right?
Oh, then there's the skip between 5 and 6. But yeah, 4 ends with what's his name? Loon Divinian being captured. And it mentions it has been 1 week since he got captured by the rebels. So we have 1 week for the Stenix Shuffle, which can fit because that's a short adventure. It's like 1 day at most. And Red Queen is also relatively short, but they make no mention of the prisoner, but whatever.
Okay.
That's just general rebellion era bullshit. And then we have to put allegiance in here. And now with this, we are already 6 months.
Wait, why does allegiance have to be between Rebel Force 5 and 6?
That's what the Reader's Companion says. What the timeline is. That's what I.
Let's not go with the Reader's Companion.
Okay.
Yet.
But you do realize Vader's quest is 2 months later.
Yeah.
This stuff takes place after Vader's quest. But by the time of Allegiance, we are at 6 months. So Trapped is 5 months later. And Uprising is also 6 months. This is month 5, and this is month 6. So this means...
If we want to go with the Reader's Companion.
If you're going to go, this means we have only these adventures in 2 months.
Yeah.
And these two have to take place in 1 week between the Rebel Force books.
What's the time skip between Renegade and Firefight?
I'm trying to remember. Renegade ends with... There could be a larger time skip in between, because Renegade ends with X7 being exposed as an Imperial agent. And then the gang returns to Yavin and whatever. And then Firefight begins with X7 creating his own hit squad to take Luke Skywalker down. So you can say, oh, maybe this is a few weeks after. So there was stuff in between. That would make sense. So we have an open space here. It's pretty damn good. It's one of my favorite comic runs. I highly recommend it. Some of the stuff is trippy, but very worth reading.
So I just double-checked Han Solo isn't in Vader's quest.
Yeah, but...
So we could still put Omega Frost after Vader's quest. But there's really no reason to.
Unless we make these first 2 weeks a little bit more lenient, I guess.
Well, Omega... No, I want to put Omega Frost after Vader's quest.
But where do we put Target? That's the big one.
Before Vader's quest. And after...
No,
Yes.
that doesn't make sense, because he didn't meet up back with Han until Omega Frost. In Target, they are all back together on Yavin, everything is happy, and they go on adventures. So it can't fit like that. So essentially what I would do is put Rebel Force 1 and 2 essentially here. And then at the epilogue of Hostage as a little time skip where they go back to Yavin. You can put Vader's quest in between.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's essentially just how Vader learns the name, which means he knows the name since Renegade. But he only really shows up in Trapped. And then
he knows
Uprising.
the name in Trapped.
Yeah. So, but we can assume he already knew here, but we don't learn this as a reader because we are following X7 and his attempts to kill Luke. Okay. So yeah, this is the 2-week period.
How big is this time skip between Target and Hostage?
I don't think there is much of a time skip because Target already sets up, oh, we're gonna take Leia next after this little trip to Moonilist. We're gonna take Leia to Delia to meet the Alderaanians. So at most, it's like a week, but it's implied to be like directly, like right after. So we have to take these 2 books back to back, I would say. That doesn't happen. That's bullshit from online articles. Jackson the Green Rabbit shows up in like 5 issues. He has barely a speaking role, and he disappears just as quickly as he appeared. And he's also not fighting the Empire with Han. He's fighting some weird biker gang on some backwater planet. It's literally the
pretty
first.
cool.
It is pretty cool. It's the Magnificent Seven, and they are fighting Sergei X Arrogantus, which is fun. One of the best.
And
Star
I
Wars
also
names.
like how people complain about that, but Han usually teams up with a big hairy monkey man.
Oh yeah, him teaming up with Bigfoot is cool, but not with a giant Easter bunny.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
I'm just reading the dialogue between Luke and Han during the Omega thing.
Oh, okay. I just checked it. It has to be after the wheel. But yeah, I'm gonna make this in different colors so we can differentiate.
Sure.
Okay, this was a bad choice. Yellow.
So Han tells Luke about the Jabba the Hutt story.
Mm-hmm. Which
Whatever
is
happened to Jabba the Hutt.
Genau, yeah. That's when he loses the bounty on his head. Which again, that's why Scoundrels would fit here, because in Scoundrels he's still trying to get money, and at the end of it he learns Jabba has doubled the bounty. And then and then this happened.
But there's nothing in this dialogue, at least, that establishes that they haven't seen each other since the wheel.
It is. It's Han saying, like, he explains to Luke what happened to him after. That's very heavy implication.
Yeah, because the Marvel run was the only thing around at the time. But I mean, it could be that whatever happened to Jabba the Hutt happens after Hostage, and this is the first time they met since then.
That could make sense, because I remember Nathan Butler's timeline pointing out in Target, Han saying he still wants to pay Jabba, presumably with the rebel money, but he has already lost it.
So I would prefer that if we move whatever happened to Jabba the Hutt back
to where?
To after. What would it be? Let me think now. To after Hostage.
Ooh, no, I don't think that works, because whatever happened to Jabba establishes that Han and Chewie were just escaping the wheel.
Okay.
Like, it's already a stretch for me to put Scoundrels in here, but that makes sense, so I'm gonna do it. But yeah, having this much between wouldn't work, especially not already teaming up again here, so it is tricky.
Okay, well, then let's just say that we have 27 issues of the Marvel run and Scoundrels during 2 weeks.
Okay. All of this is in 2 weeks. To be fair, Starhoppers and like the Pieces and Dragon Lords is like back to back immediately.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Okay. And Rebel Force, we know where Rebel Force is basically.
Yeah. Should I write it in like 2 weeks?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We can later go back and maybe insert small useless adventures, but this is it for now. And Vader's quest is, 2 months.
Yeah. And you have allegiance between Rebel Force 5 and 6 just because
that's what the Reader's Companion says.
Pablo said so.
Yeah, Pablo said so. Yeah.
Okay.
What we should also point out, Rebel Force does establish like months pass, like with each book, like clearly weeks and stuff have passed. So if we put them more back to back here before Vader's Quest would make sense as well, but
What do you mean?
like Renegade now is after Vader's Quest.
You can put it before. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
No, but Vader isn't in Renegade, right?
No. He's also not in Firefight. He only shows
Or,
up
or
with
wait,
Trap.
the only thing is in Renegade, it's established that it's been months since Luke joined the Rebel Alliance.
That's what he says. Yeah, which
I mean,
I guess
he could be wrong.
he could be wrong. We could retcon it slightly, but
But months means at least 2. It could just be 2 months, and it's right before Vader's Quest.
yeah. And if we say this starts 2 weeks after Yavin, maybe it's already onto the 3rd week. So with Hostage, we are definitely closing in and being in the 1st month after Yavin.
Yeah.
Which means there's like some weeks left until Vader's Quest happens, which makes sense. So maybe we can squeeze another little adventure in here from like the newspaper strips or whatever.
Sure.
Okay, and then we have Renegade after. Then we have maybe room for one more. What did I say? Oh no, there's 1 week here between these two. Okay. And Renegade also allows for maybe 1 or 2 adventures.
You can put basically most comic strips around this time, I think.
Yeah. Should we
Or
check?
at least because you have 2 months between Vader's Quest and Allegiance, or you have 4 months, so it's 4 months of.
Oh wait, okay, Trapped. Let's just say, because the Reader's Companion says it's 1 month for Uprising. It's 1 month after Trapped. Uprising is in month 6, so this has to be month 5. And
Sure.
Allegiance onwards is month 6.
Yeah, but that basically means that it's 3 months between Vader's Quest and Trapped, and nothing happens. So you can put most comic strips around that time.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a few comments, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna check.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we learned it in the Marvel comics. Rushed, but at the end we learn Crimson Jack Star Destroyer that Han destroyed in the earlier story arcs. Jabba had invested in it, and Mosset Benib, the Jabba stand-in, gets angry, and he's like, "Oh, Han Solo did it, and I even like revoked the bounty on his head. Fuck it, let's put another bounty on him, even more money this time."
Yeah, it's established in like 2 panels in issue 37, and they say that because he pays Jabba in whatever happened to Jabba the Hutt.
And no, he saves his life, and that's
Oh,
why
yeah, and
not
Jabba,
fake Jabba.
Yeah, and fake Jabba considers its payments for the ship that got destroyed retroactively. What was his name? Crimson, whatever.
Crimson Jack was the pirate. Yeah.
Yeah, and his ship got destroyed.
The Rebellion era is convoluted because every fucking story has to take place there, and every author wants to write there because it's between New Hope and Empire. It's when the rebellion was still going on. Han, Luke, and Leia were young, and it's terrible. And there is no coordination. If people talk about Legends being a fucking mess, if they point at the Rebellion era only, I agree, because Post Endor is very fucking obvious and clear. Like, that was a dream writing the first chronology book, because Post Endor is just, it's easy as fuck to figure out the timeline. Rebellion era is a fucking mess. Dark Times is terrible because everything happens in the same year because of George Lucas' stupid Underworld TV show that never happened.
But it's at least not confusing, the Dark Times era. It's just
It was
crowded.
confusing figuring out where stuff takes place exactly
In relation to each other.
Yeah, like I said, because only if we include TCW, which I just threw in the trash. It's not in my chronology book. Oh, Greyholm is back. No, I didn't.
Okay,
How are
so
things going?
Let me show you how things are going. We just basically finished. These are the first 2 weeks after Yavin, and then Rebel Force
Oh
Target.
my
happened.
gosh.
Yeah. 2 weeks. We get the Starhoppers and Dragon Lord story, as well as these little pizzas adventures. That's small enough. We get the Long Hunt, which is the adventure on Sky. Riders in the Void, which I may move to another point, but I don't know. I guess this and Pandora Effect, which is the Woodsec Celestial story, can fit anywhere. Crimson Forever backstory with Han and Chewie. The real story, the first meeting with Darth Vader, and then they split up. And that's when Scoundrel happens. And after that is whatever happened to Jabba the Hutt, when Han loses the bounty on his head. Then, when Luke and Leia first learn about the Yavin blockade. Dark Encounter, Vader is searching for Luke's name, but gets fucked over by Valance. Princess Alone and Omega Frost, same story essentially. Luke's first return to Tatooine, which is a contradiction, doesn't work at all with Renegade. We have to ignore certain events there.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So there's absolutely no way that any of them could be moved further later down the timeline.
Yes. Riders in the Void and Pandora Effect, and even the Long Hunt, could be moved. But I treat, because the wheel story says after many adventures, the wheel story starts. So something has to happen. But we can remove these 3, and I want to live in the Crimson Forever backstory because it's implied that takes place early. So yeah, but these
And
3,
we could move whatever happened to Jabba the Hutt and also Omega Frost
We
to
can't.
after
I
Hostage.
think you might have to, because it literally is impossible for all this to happen within 2 weeks.
I know it's impossible, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't work, and we can't move whatever happened to Jabba the Hutt. Okay, and we
No,
can't remove
you
Omega
don't want
Frost.
to because it's implied that it's after the wheel, that it's right after the wheel, but it's only implied. It's not stated.
Greyhorn, you have to be the factor. Okay, you have the final voice here. Whatever happened to Jabba the Hutt? It establishes Han and Chewie just left the wheel recently. Like, even me putting Scoundrels in here is already a stretch, but whatever. And they didn't have any contact with Luke and Leia yet. They are still on their own. And then Omega Frost is the first time they meet again with Luke on Tatooine. And Han directly says, oh yeah, we just had this adventure where we saved not Jabba, Mossad Benit. And now he's meeting up with Luke again. There's no fucking way for Rebel Force, Target, and Hostage to have happened, because
But like
they are already hanging out together.
You say they left the wheel recently. Even if we move whatever happened back, it's still going to be recently because it's still going to be like a week after.
This is so
Oh my
Alex,
gosh.
This is horrific. I've just been listening. Jesus Christ.
the Rebellion timeline, ladies and gentlemen.
But like, wait? So all
Only
you have to
DC
make
exists.
all of the
I
Marvel
know that's
comics completely
moronic.
work.
We have to make everything work in here. The issue is fucking Rebel Force, because the Marvel comics itself was fucking easy to keep track of. Like, they just it was a flow. Like they went like.
But the
Okay,
Marvel comics
Jason,
make
let
no
me show you.
sense
Let me show you, Jason. This is
Yeah, Jason, we got the first 2
weeks.
weeks worked out.
The first 2 weeks, and the only explanation is 2 weeks in Star Wars are like 2 months in the real world. That's the
Why?
explanation.
That's so
That's the
bullshit.
explanation
No.
we're gonna go with, because this
Oh,
this
God.
has to
No.
fit here. Like I
No,
said,
we have to move whatever happened to Jabba the Hutt.
Retcon Rebel
No.
Force if you need to.
Yeah, Luke was just wrong. It was actually 2 months. He thought it was 2 weeks.
in Rebel Force Target.
Yeah, he was just wrong.
I'd rather you retcon Rebel
It
Force.
felt like 2 weeks because everything went so fast. It's actually
Yes,
like
now
5
this
months.
is a good retcon. The man
Jesus.
speaking sense.
Rebel Force isn't even consistent with its own timeline, and now you want me to retcon it. That's
No, Maxwell, that's
Rebel?
not my
Okay.
idea. I'm against
Let's-
that, Maxwell.
Let's look at it this
I
way.
know.
Which is more consistent with the overall EU? Rebel Force or the Marvel comics, i.e., which got referenced more?
That's what. By the way, Matt Wilkins made a joke about this in one of his reviews. Luke, Han, and Leia never had a chance to go to the toilet because literally every adventure happens back to back. Only in the first year, though. The second year is completely fucking empty. The only thing taking place to ABY is fucking Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
And there's no way to
I
move
remember
some of
Ted
these back.
Larkin's Rebellion era video. I watched through the whole thing, and I was pretty surprised about where he put some Marvel comic stuff because I assumed that they were all in a certain spot in the timeline, but he really shuffled them around a lot.
By the way, I would like to point out. I forgot what I was gonna say. My brain. But we can remove these 3. Would you be okay with that? And then already we have some more consistent timeline.
Yeah, remove those 3 for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, move them into the time.
remember,
say between
Star Hoppers-
Firefight and
between Firefight? Oh, Renegade and Firefight?
yeah, somewhere around that time instead.
Okay. So keep in mind, Savage Heart, that's only Vader. That's immediately after the Death Star blows up. That's fine.
Okay.
Star Hoppers, the Hunter, and Pizzas and take essentially place at the same time and lead right into Dragon Lords. This is a couple of days. Okay. After that, we get the Crimson Forever. This is a solo Han and Chewie backstory adventure on this planet.
Okay.
That takes place like a few days, but we're gonna ignore how long hyperspace travel takes. And then there's the Wheel, which is also only a couple of days. I don't remember how long
You
Scoundrels
think
was.
Crimson Forever is solo Han and Chewie, but
The
it's
backstory.
after-
The backstory. I know Crimson Forever
Mhm.
is between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, but the backstory in it with Han and Chewie takes place in the Rebellion era around here. That's fine.
But is it possible to move that back a few weeks?
Yes.
So like we can also say that was.
Couldn't you move that?
Why can't that be? I don't know.
Just
1.5
because the
years
Wheel-
after episode 4.
Just because the Wheel said, oh, the gang already had some adventures, which I guess can only refer to like Star Hoppers, Dragon Lords, and Pizzas.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that means you can
That's
still
some
move the
adventures.
Crimson Forever.
What?
Anything we can get rid of in this era, I'd get rid of because it's
Yes,
so.
you move
much.
it down as much as you can. Just move
Because
down
didn't you just say
everything.
the second year nothing happened? Why can't that be in the second year then?
Wait, let's put randomly for now. Put Crimson Forever backstory between Hostage and Vader's quest.
Yeah, that's
There-
fine.
There's enough
Yeah.
time.
We have a month to work with.
Okay.
Don't put it between Rebel Force 2 and 3, since it's strongly implied that they're together throughout Rebel Force. Put it after Rebel Force.
No,
Like
this
in
is
the second
fine.
year
This is
something.
just one Han, and this is fine.
Graham,
Rebel
we
Force
can't go.
also
We can't go
says
by.
that Han
We can't.
has made missions for the Rebel Alliance, and in this Crimson Empire backstory, he's doing stuff for the Rebellion, and he gets
Oh, it's
trapped
for the
into the Red
Rebellion, okay.
Nebula. Yeah, so that's fine. It works. Trust
And
me. I just
We
read
can't
those
go by
fucking books.
implications too, because it's confusing enough if we go by stated facts. We can't just go by implications.
Oh, lovely. But there's nothing contradicting it, right? So couldn't you
It's-
move it to 2 ABY when there's nothing happening?
Okay,
No.
let's not talk about dates.
We are in the first 6 months after the Battle of Yavin. We're not
Yeah.
talking 0 ABY, 1 ABY, 2 ABY. No, we're talking in months and weeks and actual stuff we can measure. And to explain this, it's not 2 months and out. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to be. It's fucking retarded bullshit that no one ever thought about. I have to work out how so many stories can possibly happen in this time frame, okay? The Marvel run originally was clearly going for like months, like on its own, like until Omega Frost, which we have here. But now we have to squeeze it in a shorter time frame because it
But
doesn't
why?
work any other. Because it
Because of
doesn't
Rebel
work.
Force.
Because of Rebel Force.
Because Rebel Force says, "Oh,
But
that's 2 weeks after
squeezing it
Yavin."
within a shorter timeline also doesn't work.
Tell that to TCW and the Clone Wars Multimedia Project.
Yeah, which is
But did you put TCW inside the...
I didn't put it in
Don't
because
we-
TCW is even worse and directly disrespectful.
Exactly.
It's directly disrespectful. Rebellion
Yeah, but-
era is just a fucking mess.
but
This
it
one we
wasn't
can
for
blame
the
Alex
wasn't for
Weaver.
the longest time the Marvel comics not like properly canon, only like half?
Yeah, for the
canon?
longest, only when it was referenced, but it was referenced constantly since the 90s. So it got elevated later on. We have to consider it. No
Yeah.
removing. The Marvel comics are also
Basically,
fucking based.
initially it was
So I'm
S
not gonna
canon and
stand
only
here.
the stuff referenced counted, but then a ton of authors who grew up reading those comics decided that they would continuously reference it. So she just went, whatever, fine, it's C canon. Or something like that. I can't remember.
That's the
Okay.
only good Leland Chi move ever.
Noah, you want to go over to Empire because I think we have this sorted out.
No, we still have to figure out the 6-month timeline. Okay, first
What do you
of
mean we have
all,
to figure? We have everything figured out.
No, look at these stories. this okay, starting here. These are all the stories we have to fit in this fucking first year.
Yeah, and I asked you if you wanted to go over to Empire now.
Oh, the comics? I thought you
Yes.
meant Empire Strikes Back.
No,
no,
the comics.
Empire is mostly on Nathan Butler's timeline. Is 7 months later. We are only in the first 6.
Yeah, I know. Let's put a few in there still.
Noah sounds absolutely livid.
I am.
Okay, Noah.
Question is
Yeah.
when it's no,
You
no,
know-
not absolutely livid.
I have a great idea for how you can resolve all this. Because nothing works. So you get Matt Wilkins to pick
Oh, this reminds me. Have you
what
seen?
he thinks is the best, and then you take the reverse of what he says. I think that will work.
So I looked at my timeline, and that's
Reverse of
Also
whatever Matt
confusing.
says. And I think you will come up with the best option.
Okay.
Yes, I agree. Completely agree, Maxwell.
The Marvel comics are awesome.
Yeah.
Although I've only
Okay.
read the first 20
Noah?
issues.
Yeah.
There's an Empire arc. It's called Last Man something.
To the Last Man.
To the Last Man. It has to happen. It's early on, but it can happen whenever it's not contradicting any of the Marvel run. But
Okay.
somewhere around the first 2 weeks, probably.
I remember seeing it on Nathan Butler's timeline. Let me see where I put it in my To the Last Man.
Yeah, it's higher up. It's between like Possess and
Oh, there it is.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's before the Long Hunt, before the Wheel. Okay,
Yeah, there's no important characters in there.
so I'm just gonna put it here.
And then there's also the story Sacrifice about Boba Fett, and it can be also around that time. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Fuck Boba. Okay.
And that's the Empire. That's Empire over.
Okay. So these are the first 2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's just say, for argument's sake, that Luke was slightly wrong. And we are not like 2 weeks after, we are closer to 3 weeks. Like, let's just say it has been over 2 weeks. Okay? Get what I'm
Okay.
saying? So we have a little bit more
Mhm.
time for all of this
I like
to take place.
Civet's idea much more.
No.
Make it felt like 2 weeks,
No.
but so much
And
had
we
happened.
can't. I have to remind you guys, we can't move Wheel, whatever happened to Jabba, and Omega Frost. As like that is a clear timeline of events with Han and Chewie on their own, which we cannot change.
Scoundrels?
And Noah, you want to know something funny?
What?
It's not even 2 weeks. It's almost 2 weeks.
What?
Yeah,
What
it's stated they've been there for almost 2 weeks.
Okay, we're gonna that is a mistake. That is Luke being a fucking idiot. It has been over 2 weeks. I'm gonna retcon it. I'm gonna retcon it slightly and say it has been over 2 weeks.
Wait. I'm gonna read this again. Huh? They'd been at the rebel base for almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah, I'm gonna ignore that.
No,
Fuck.
wait. during their current stay at the rebel base has
Oh,
gone on for 2 weeks.
Got it. You
no,
can
but
move
don't
all
they
of Rebel
lead-
Force now.
Oh, so okay, so you're gonna contradict everything that even Pablo said in his famous Reader's Companion and say,
I don't care about what Pablo says.
Do
He's
we-
always
let me
wrong.
actually
about
let me
Pablo?
check the fucking companion right now because there is nothing in this part of the era anyway.
Because
okay,
the
here-
companion is based off what the book says, but Pablo maybe read it wrong.
Pablo is Pablo. We don't really care about what he says.
in the weeks after the Battle of Yavin. He doesn't even specify. He just says in the weeks after the battle. But doesn't
What does Joe say
Renegade
again?
Renegade claims it has been months since Luke destroyed Death Star. But hostage. What about hostage?
Hostage doesn't say anything.
Sure. Are you sure? So you think we
Joe
can
put Rebel
move-
Force very far down. It's
We-
still
we can't
within
put
the
it
6 months
very-
limit,
we
but
can't
it's
We can't put it very far down, but we can put it
no,
far down
very
enough.
far down compared to everything else. He
But it
has,
has
like,
to be
I don't know,
before
50 comic issues before
Shut
Rebel Force.
up! It has to be before Vader's quest. Because the point of Rebel Force, at least the first couple, is that the commander, Resi Soresh, is looking for the guy who destroyed the Death Star. He doesn't know the name of the pilot yet. And we already assumed that by Renegade and Firefight, Vader knew about Luke Skywalker. It's confirmed
yeah.
and trapped. Because
Yeah.
book 5 is when Vader shows up and says, like, oh,
Okay.
Luke Skywalker,
Wait.
I know.
Joe's timeline is very wrong then.
I know Joe's timeline is wrong.
Yeah, this is screwed up.
Every
but-
timeline
He
is
also
wrong.
put Uprising right after Trapped, and I'm pretty sure that there's a pretty big timeline gap.
I just read fucking. Wait. Start cam.
Put all 6 right back to
Okay,
back.
Uprising. This is the German version. I don't care. It says, chapter 1. 27 days, 16 hours, and 4 minutes have passed since the last book. Okay? If every fucking rebellion story was this precise, we wouldn't have
We
this
wouldn't have these
fucking
problems,
discussion right now. Okay? So, let me check again. Okay, so we're going with the Reader's Companion here. Trapped is 5 months. Allegiance is 6 months, and then Uprising is also 6 months after Yavin. And Vader's quest is also confirmed 2 months. So we have this time frame of like two more months, 3 months, almost.
Noah, share your thing. I can't see what you're talking about.
You can't. Oh fuck! Why did it close? Shit. Okay, where was I? Okay,
Vader's
Rebel
quest,
Force
2
5,
months. Yep.
5 months, then 6 months, and then 2 months. This is fixed. So we have roughly 3 months for all of this to happen. Makes sense.
That-
Oh no,
yeah,
wait.
Totally fine.
Between Firefight and
Yeah.
Trapped, there is 1 week. And I was squeezing in the Stenix Shuffle, which works, and the Red Queen trio, which is more tricky. But Sivat was like, we have to put it here.
Wait, let me think if I was saying that.
Red Queen
I have
has
an
to be
important
after
question
Vader's
for you.
quest, because Vader learns the full name of Luke.
Yeah,
Because
but Red
before
Queen
that-
can be before Firefight. That's fine.
It can be. Okay, so we're gonna delete it from here and just say between Firefight and Trap, the 1 week, there was the Stenix Shuffle. Okay. After Renegade?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because Vader doesn't really factor into it anyway, so yeah. Oh, wait. What was the skip between Renegade and Firefight?
I don't think it's established.
Oh, Renegade ends with X7 being exposed as the traitor. And then in Firefight, he's setting up his thing. So there is enough time for, like, the gang to have separate adventures.
Yeah, some adventures. By the way, Noah, the comments is a very important question from Maxwell. Will you be taking Star Wars Tales into account?
Where is the comment? I saw it. No, I'm not going to include Star Wars Tales because fuck Star Wars Tales.
Yeah. And is it even precisely said which stories are canon and which ones aren't?
No.
No.
Nope.
Bullshit. Yeah, then we just. Say that all.
And by the way, what's also fun? I forgot it. My brain is fucking.
I mean, if we
shit
have TCW, then the Clone Wars era is more the bane of every EU fan's existence. But the Rebellion era is just.
Oh, yeah, now I remember. You know, I'm not even including the fucking Wood Wars comic run from 2013.
Of course.
Yeah, but that was never canon.
Yeah, that's non-canon.
Wait, which is
Really?
worse?
because that was the-
TCW included in the Legends timeline,
Yeah.
or the Rebellion era?
I'd say
Both are
TCW
terrible.
because it's both are bad, but the TCW thing is blatantly contradicting. Okay, whereas here it's just all over the place and makes no sense.
I think TCW is worse because Clone Wars had a very well thought out timeline before TCW came along, and TCW took a shit on it. So
Whereas
yeah,
Rebellion's
TCW
just
is
random
way
bullshit
worse.
go.
Could be agreed then.
So TCW is still worse, but Rebellion era is fucking miserable.
Yeah, and like Alex said, TCW has like characters dying over again and characters being resurrected and
Rebellion
events
doesn't
happening
have
2
that.
times.
At least you don't.
Whereas here there's just, I don't know, 30 versions of Luke, Han, and Leia that just are doing things at the same time.
Yeah, so better than.
Oh, that's the Leland Chi level retcon. There are clones running around.
Yeah. Or it doesn't even need to be clones, it can be body doubles, because people know Luke, Han, and Leia, so it's just like someone pretending to be them.
Possible.
Oh, I am going to sleep. It's almost 2 a.m.
All right.
And my brain is now getting tired.
You're gonna abandon us during our time of need?
Wait,
I know
I'm gonna-
almost nothing about the Rebellion era. Like I haven't read the comics, and well, a lot of the Rebellion era are comics. You need me about the Bantam era, sure.
Okay.
All the Knights of the Old Republic, yeah, sure. You all need to do the Rebellion era. No, I'm basically useless.
All right.
Anyway, have fun.
Yeah.
Get Matt Wilkins to be the ultimate arbiter.
If he shows up here. We already have his
Yeah.
most favorite book in the right spot.
Okay, good luck.
Right. Yeah, thank you. So we want to continue. Let's look at this logically. We have 2 to 3 weeks before
We can
go
even
to
make it.
college.
We can even make it 4 weeks.
Let's make it 1 month.
That's fine.
1 month. Are we sure? We're gonna squeeze this in 1 month.
It's better than 2 weeks.
Okay. So fuck what Target says.
No. Go by what Target says, but just read it differently.
2
Because
weeks after
it's-
Yavin equals 1 month.
Yeah, it just says that they've been on Yavin for 2 weeks this time around.
Okay.
That's true, and that works with the Marvel comics because they all leave for all the Dragon Lords shit, right?
Yeah, they leave constantly, even with the
Yeah.
blockade being around. So yeah, that makes sense. That can work, I guess. Hostage is right after. Then we have a little skip with the epilogue where we can fit the little Crimson Forever backstory with Han and Chewie. Vader's quest. Oh my god, that works! Didn't you say Han isn't in Vader's quest?
Yeah, he's not in Vader's quest.
Yeah, so that can take place at the same time as Vader's quest that has Luke, and Crimson Forever backstory has only Han and Chewie. So yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh,
And
you
then-
got a few comments, by the way.
Jesus, what now? Yeah, sure.
I mean,
Oh,
if
Sheeland Lee is back.
Sheelan says it, then we have to listen to him.
Okay. We're gonna go with the clone theory. Maybe it's Luke. Yeah, recontextualize. Oh, Brennan.
By the way, Noah, keep in mind that they can see.
Yeah,
they
I
can
know.
see your
But
Discord, so
I know.
don't drop any N bombs in there.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, he
Don't
will
do the
join in an
usual.
hour. Yeah, we will be here still in that time.
Most probably.
Okay.
Ah,
I hope Sheeland Lee has some more helpful comments later on. Okay, but figure this. Okay, let's figure this out. Okay, 1 month, enough time for all of these Marvel adventures. Then we get to
Yeah.
Target and Hostage. Crimson Forever and Vader's Quest, we now say take place at this around the same time ish, 2 months.
Yeah.
This makes sense because yeah, Target and Hostage also stretch over a certain period of time. So yeah. And then after Vader's Quest, we got the Red Queen trilogy immediately. Makes sense. And then the Long Hunt and Renegade.
Yeah.
Yeah, Renegade is with the time skip. So X7 was still around during these. He was on Yavin chilling. And then at the end of Renegade, he leaves and returns in Firefight with his hit squad. And in between, we can have these little Luke Leia and Han Leia adventures. Then we got 1 week in between Firefight and Trapped. That's when the
Mhm.
Stenix shuffle can take place.
Yeah.
5, 6, yeah, 6. But now we are at 2 months, 5 months. So we had a 3-month period for these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories.
Yeah,
Which is-
you can just put some comic strips in there if you want. I haven't read them, so I don't know when they're supposed to take place. But,
Oh fuck, that's great. Fuck my life, that's great.
but
Let me
they
check.
can
Let
mostly
me
be
check.
placed whatever, from what I know.
Scoundrels, Jabba's Return, Leia Alone, Omega Frost, Target, Hostage. Okay, oh, here are some. Dr. Death short story. That's a good one. Second Castle Run, Bounty Hunter of Ord Mantell, Darth Vader Strikes, Serpent Masters, Deadly Reunion, Traitor's Gambit, Night Beast, Return of Ben Kenobi. Let's put them all in there.
No, wait. The Bounty Hunter of Ord Mantell, isn't that the bounty hunter they're referring to in Empire?
No, there are multiple Bounty Hunters of Ord Mantell.
Oh,
There's
okay.
like 5 of
Makes
them.
sense.
Yeah, but I think the reason is this story goes straight into Darth Vader Strikes, and I think that's the story that establishes the Executor being a thing. So it has to take place early for the timeline to make sense.
Okay, but I wouldn't place them there officially yet. But just read them all and see where we can place them
Yeah,
eventually.
I have read Second Castle Run. Yeah, that's the only of these ones. But yeah, that can fit fucking anywhere. Like it doesn't
But
matter.
this is up to you to do because I can't help you.
Okay, where was I saying I'm gonna put them? I guess there's the time skip between Renegade. There's enough room.
Okay, so I'm looking at the list of what we have left. The day after the Death Star, I guess that one is a day after the Death
That's
Star.
done. That's done. I already wrote it in my chronology in a chapter.
Okay, so what do we have left? Choices of One we know about.
That's 8 months later.
Yeah, Honor Among we know where all the novels.
Oh,
are placed,
wait, we
right?
forgot Tilotny Frozen Shape. And World of Fire. And
Is
Gamblers.
the-
Oh fuck, here's more. All of these we can put before Allegiance.
Sure,
That's a lot.
but we can also put them after Allegiance, can't we?
Not really.
Because the timeline it's so empty after Allegiance.
Wait, so 6 months ends with this one. So all of this happens after Allegiance.
Mhm.
Yeah, but basically every comic strip where they don't reference that they're on Yavin 4 can happen between
Whenever.
between Allegiance and Empire Strikes Back, really.
Okay, let me. Fuck. Where's the fuck? Okay. red. Okay, we have to put Telotny throws a shape before the Red Queen trio.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But so I say just keep the comic strips outside the timeline and just insert them wherever when you as you read them. Because,
Okay.
yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna put them in color so I know they are gonna be red for not having read them yet or reread them.
Okay. And as for everything after Allegiance, it feels pretty straightforward.
Yeah. So Allegiance, then we got Uprising, and then
Yeah.
you say we just insert the rest of the newspaper strips. Which
Well, we can't insert them all because we have choices of one. But I mean, the period after Allegiance and before Empire.
Yeah.
But I can't say anything definitively because I don't know. There might be some important things established in some of them.
Yeah, so let's see.
Like the frozen world of Ota.
Oh yeah, that has the appearance of Boba Fett, where he meets Luke. Planet of Catril doesn't really matter that much. Gambler's World, first appearance of Chronal. Pretty cool.
This is Jesus Christ.
Let me copy in the rest. Yeah, and then we got
all of this shit.
Yeah.
Oh God.
This is the end of the 6-month period. Galaxy of Fear is a little bit tricky, but we get to it. Okay, so these are the remaining ones, including this is a novel.
Does Empire work at least?
What Empire?
Yeah, Empire. There's one problem in Empire, but it mostly works.
Yeah, it mostly in the timeline by Nathan Butler. It's mostly set 7 months and onwards after.
Yeah.
So after the most of the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, because issue 19 and beyond, the rebel fleet is in space because Yavin has been evacuated.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can just do Empire and Rebellion just back to back.
Yeah, and just insert Choices of One and the Galaxy of Fear books. So this is I think this part of the timeline I already made. I'm gonna keep.
Yeah, there's one contradiction.
Which one?
In Empire issue something when they introduce generic love interest for Luke, whatever her name is.
And the blonde one?
Yeah. It's in Empire. It's in Empire 22.
Dina Shen?
Yeah. She says that she joined the Rebel Alliance 2 months ago, right after the destruction of the first Death Star.
Oh no!
But Dina is a moron.
Dina is a blonde bimbo. We're not gonna count her.
And let's be honest, even if it's a few weeks after the destruction of the Death Star, that's still pretty much right after. Maybe she decided to join the rebellion right afterwards, and then only ended up joining 2 months later. Because
but the thing is, it would have to be like not a few weeks, but like 5 months after. But whatever.
It's fine.
Let's just
maybe
ignore
it takes
her.
a long time for the news to reach. Whatever you can make that work somehow.
Yeah, that's true. It's transmission time, and it's a long, it's long distance and everything.
The mess at Ord Mantell. That's true. Because we got one in the Marvel comic run, the rushed one with Mossad Benid also being there, and we got the titular bounty hunter on Ord Mantell's. What was his name? Scar?
I don't remember.
Yeah, he was the guy who was going to be the main villain of the final Young Jedi Knights trilogy, but then Kevin realized he died in the comics, so he had to quickly change it, and now we have another character who was also a bounty hunter on Ord Mantell who attacked Han, and he looks exactly the same as Score did.
That arc wasn't very good.
No, it would have been better if it was Score, but that wouldn't have worked because contradiction.
They should have just ended it after the second arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 months on her planet, which is 7 months of actual time. Or she's just an idiot.
It works for the Nogri. So, yeah. Okay, let me get the fucking thing up again. So okay, 6 months. We are still in 6 months with Uprising. Okay, this part is done. Right.
Cool.
We now have all of Rebel Force taken care of, and we have the theory that these newspaper strips may fit in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But these are ones that can work whenever, or these ones are still reference Yavin 4.
No, most of them can work whenever.
They can work when we're gonna see if there's any specific order, but yeah.
Yeah, but most of them are like this day Luke discovers this planet.
I think with something like Return of Ben Kenobi, I haven't read it, but I think the plot is Vader hires an actor to pretend to be Ben to lure Luke in because he wants Luke. So it has to take place after Vader's quest because that's when he knows that Luke is his son. Oh, which means we can put one Alan Moore Devil World story before Vader's quest, which is Dark Knight's Devilry, where he tries to murder Luke and Leia. Because maybe he doesn't know that Luke is his son yet.
I mean, it's Devil World, so it could be in an alternate dimension.
Maybe. That's also a thing.
But anyway, do we have anything difficult left? Because it seems pretty straightforward from here on.
Okay, so from upper... Wait, where is... Honor Among Thieves, it's Nathan Butler claims it's also around Allegiance time. Which makes... And Bounty Hunter Wars is also still 6 months. Okay, this is all...
Bounty Hunter Wars doesn't matter.
Is that another Bounty Hunter Wars?
Big characters, right?
No. The Bounty Hunter Wars, the trilogy is split in 2 timelines. One post-Endor and one 6 months after.
But the 6 months... the only thing I guess that could be problematic is maybe if it has Vader in it, but mostly it's characters that you don't see in the other stories, so it should be okay, right?
But yeah, so all of this is also 6 months. Again, all of this is in 1 month is still a lot. But Honor Among Thieves, I want to put... Yeah. This is... Where is Choices of One?
Should be somewhere there.
I didn't copy... Wait, let me check my original.
No, that would be it's after Target.
Oh yeah, I have it way down here. So
yeah, because most of Empire is during is 7 months after.
Yeah, I'm gonna copy this in here quick, just so we have a... Well, okay, Target Vader would essentially be the last story then. And then Galaxy of Fear is already in 1 ABY, the year. Let's not count it right now, but that's what it is. So this is already...
It's actually ridiculous how much of it plays.
So
I mean, you have a few years in theory, don't you? Until Empire Strikes Back. Like
Hero
3 or 4
ABY
years.
equals...
Yeah, but everything has to be set during the first year.
Yeah. So 0 BBY, because 0 BBY and 0 ABY are 1 year. They count as 1 single year, which means 0 BBY is only 4 months long. And then 0 ABY is 6 months. Because we are not using the 12-month calendar. We're using the 10-month calendar.
Yeah, Alex, do you know about that?
No, I did not know about that. What?
Yeah, so you know how, like, in real life, we have AD and BC?
Yeah.
But there's no such thing as the year 0. It's just Jesus was born, and the next year is called 1 AD.
Yeah.
But in Star Wars, they decided to have a year called 0. But there's a year called 0 BBY and 0 ABY. So you'd ask yourself...
And it's the same year.
Yeah, you'd ask yourself, well, are those 2 years? No, because it's obviously 0 years after or before the battle. So it's 1 year. And let's say the battle happens in the middle of the year. Well, the half of the year before the battle would be 0 BBY, and the half of the year after the battle would be 0 ABY.
Oh, God.
But...
And it was originally, a year in Star Wars was 10 months. But later on, they changed it to a 12-month calendar system. But not because we are still working with the 10-month calendar. Because fuck it.
And in Galaxy of Fear, they use both systems.
Yeah, because John Whitman just switches between books.
Oh God, why 10 months?
10 months, I don't know, it just was a thing. They only changed it way later. I've heard it was because of Nathan Butler convincing them. I don't know if this is true, but it wouldn't surprise me. There is way too much shit. Way too many stories for 10 months, but I'm just still gonna use 10 months because fuck it.
Yeah, because you're basing your dating of the new essential chronology, and they use
Yeah,
10
and that
months.
still had used the 10-month calendar. So the year 0 for me in my chronology is 10 months, and 0 BBY is only 4 months, and then the Battle of Yavin happens, and then the next 6 months are 0 ABY.
Yeah.
And then 1 ABY begins, and that's a completely year, and from there on it's easy. It's easy to keep track of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard. We are slowly getting out of the hard part, though.
I assume that as of when you get to Empire Strikes Back, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all in 6 months. Look at this garbage.
This is
Up
ridiculous.
until here, this is 6 months.
Jesus Christ.
And
Is
this
Galaxy
is
of
already
Fear
with
at
the-
least kind of its own thing? Mostly?
That is its own thing. It has two cameos by the gang, the Luke, Han, Leia, Chewie, and so on. But it's small enough. They just visit one planet to look for some rebels in the first book, and then they help out in the 6th book, and that's it for Luke, Han, Leia, and the gang. And the rest is self-contained with some little cameos by other characters, but that doesn't affect the timeline that much.
Okay, so just so I have my book list here, we did the novels except for Ruins of Dantooine.
Yeah, that's later.
We know about Galaxy of Fear.
Mm-hmm.
We know about Empire and Rebellion, so I can remove those from the list.
Yeah.
So all
No,
that
we're gonna
remain.
get to Empire and Rebellion.
Yeah, but we
No.
know it's back to back. It's linear and back to back.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing. Well, you put River of Chaos between issue 22 and 23, I see.
Yeah, I don't remember which timeline I went with, if it was Joe's or Nathan Butler's, but yeah. River of Chaos is confusing because I've also seen it take place shortly before Hoth. So I don't know what to think. I haven't read it. That's the problem with this one.
What is issue 23? I don't remember. Let's see.
Yeah, check it out.
Issue 20. Oh, that's
Wait, I can
Oh,
help out
no.
Marvel Unlimited, then I can have a look when you.
issue 23 is, I don't remember. No, I remember the bounty hunter guy or the smuggler guy from issue 23.
Is it Boshek?
I think so.
Oh, the famous Boshek story. That's the most important story in all of the Expanded Universe.
Yeah, that's issue 23.
Okay.
The
Oh,
original
it's
Marvel
that
run, or
guy.
what?
Yeah, it's Boshek.
No, Alex, the
Empire.
Empire.
Mhm.
It's Boshek, the most famous character. Everyone's
Yeah,
favorite.
from like the bar or shit or whatever.
What was 22?
22 is when they meet the clone trooper.
No, that's General Skywalker.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh
it's
no,
a
no,
two-issue.
no. Yeah. 22 is when Dina and Han and Chewie go to this planet and do stupid stuff.
Oh, that's her introduction.
Yeah, where she says it's
Oh
been
yeah,
2 months.
I looked at it. Okay.
I didn't read past issue 22, but because it's not convoluted at that point.
Okay. Yeah.
So
okay. So
what's
basically,
next?
okay. Let's first off check this. Rebel Force Uprising, and then we're just gonna insert the. I'm gonna also put these in red because I'm gonna I read some of them, but I don't remember enough. So I'm gonna put them in red and double check. But they can fit pretty much everywhere. And we're just gonna say it takes place in this 6th month.
Yeah,
And
sure.
here is this is the important thing. Like this is
Yeah,
this is
that
the
is,
evacuation
and it's 6 months after for a fact. We know that.
for effect. So this is post 6 months, I guess.
Alex, have you read Empire?
This is a
I
lot
have
by
read
the way.
Empire.
You have.
This
It's
is-
good, isn't it?
Yeah. A lot of it was. It depends on what the story was.
This is a lot by the way in just 1 month. This is more
Yeah,
than
but
the
it
2
doesn't
weeks.
need to be 1 month. You can spread it out.
I mean, a lot of
No?
Empire is also kind of
Oh, yeah, you
anthology,
mean-
like things that aren't about the big three.
Yeah, but that was what it was marketed as.
Yeah, but then later on,
Matt
it was-
Wilkins hates it because it is about the big three.
What is
Empire.
Empire? Oh yeah.
the
yeah.
later half is. Anna Hersey. I've only read the first 31 issues of Empire, so I'm missing the last 9 or so. But I read most of it.
The last 9 are solid.
That's with like Jabim and stuff, I think.
Yeah, it's Luke returning to Jabim.
Actually, no. I think I might just own that physically. But on Marvel Unlimited, it's showing up there when I read the first 30 or so.
And it's Luke, and then it's Luke and Tank reuniting.
I'm gonna reread that fucking series.
Empire.
Okay. Empire and Rebellion. I'm gonna reread both of them. I also have to review them at some point. So I'm
Rebellion
gonna turn
wasn't
this.
great.
What the
Oh, wow.
actual fuck did I just do?
Yeah, you picked the wrong thing.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just okay. I fucked everything. I'm just gonna go back. Okay.
And pick the A with the red. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so this is set in stone right now.
Yes.
Okay, this is the 0 ABY 6-month period.
Yeah.
Some wiggle room where these stories fit in red, but that's essentially it. Okay, all of this is in 1 month is still pretty insane, but okay. And this is this is after. And now we would be in like 6 months onwards. Like Empire, Little Piece of Home is 7 months after.
Yeah.
Okay. So Galaxy of Fear 1 establishes it has been half a year since the Battle of Yavin. So 6 months is accurate? Yeah.
That's not.
That's
think
okay. The
about
first the first 6 take place in 2 months. Let's just say this. And then the next one, Choices of One is 8 months. Is Brain Spiders and Swarm War 8 months? 9 months. No, wait, what? 8. Okay, yeah, let's just say those are also 8 months. But after these.
According to Wikipedia, it's 9 months.
Which one? Brain Spiders?
The Swarm.
Swarm is 9 months? Okay, then I have to change it.
And Brain Spiders is, according to Wikipedia, also 9 months.
Both are 9 months. Okay, that makes more sense. After My Brother, My Enemy, or would that be... Okay, I'm just gonna put it after Choices.
Doesn't matter, right? Because it's...
It's more standalone, so I'm just gonna...
And after that, it's... Clear cut.
Okay. Just imagine how many chapters I'm gonna write.
Oh god.
And you thought fucking what was it? Old Republic or Clone Wars is a lot of chapters. 50. I think it was 60 chapters in the Old Republic one. I think.
How did you do Old Republic, by the way? Did you do the video game stuff? Like, did you do the story
yeah,
KOTOR?
all the video game stuff. It's on Alex. You can buy.
How did you do? Oh yeah, I will do that then. How did you do SWTOR?
He didn't do all of it. He just did. He did the main stories.
Okay,
Yes.
because I was about
The
to say,
side quests
didn't
aren't
do the
even
side
important.
quests.
Aren't to galactic history. I'm just going with.
What about like the planetary storylines in the SWTOR games?
I don't know.
No, he didn't
okay.
do those.
Okay, let me check how many fucking chapters my KOTOR SWTOR section has. 59.
But you did.
I mean, no,
KOTOR 1
if
and
you
2.
wanted to be, if you wanted to be really detailed, it could be over like 1,000 pages. If you wanted to do the side quests and the
Yeah, but I don't
storylines,
give a fuck. This is a comprehensive chronology about galactic history. I don't need a story about some fucking retard on some backwater
No,
planet
the planetary
hunting.
storylines tell important stories for those planets.
I don't care for those planets. We are talking galactic history. Planets are just not that important. Okay. But yeah, just buy it, read it, and then you see what I did. I think it's comprehensive and decent.
I'm
enough.
sure it is.
But it was a nightmare to put together.
I can imagine. I read some of the New Republic one, and that one was comprehensive.
That was fucking post Endor is so easy as a timeline. But then you look at Clone Wars and the Rebellion era specifically, and then Dark Times was a
Have you
surprise.
done Clone Wars yet?
Yeah, it's done. It's not on Amazon yet, but it's done. I already have a test copy in my hand. Let me show you. Here's Volume 2. This is the prequel era. Here's Volume 1. This is on Amazon right now. Buy it, everyone, in German. This goes up until the end of the Darth Bane trilogy. This one starts with all the Sith Lords between Bane, Zena, and Plagueis. And
oh god, so
up
you did all the stuff from like the Jedi vs. Sith, Essential Guide to the Force book and everything.
Yeah, everything in there. And it ends in 5 BBY with some miscellaneous Empire Dark Times stuff. Dark Times was difficult because all the stories take place in the same year, which isn't actually the same year because no one fucking knows how to do the fucking timeline. 19 BBY was the end of the year. There can't be any more stories taking place there after Revenge of the Sith. It's all 18 BBY, but no one cared.
Unless everything happened in a few days.
Which is all completely possible at this point because Star Wars timeline is a mess.
If only we had you back in the day, Noah.
If only we had Sheelan Lee working for Lucasfilm. Jesus.
Any fun comments?
Let me check.
That one was funny.
Yeah, that's...
It was in response to you not knowing how to change colors of the text.
Oh, okay, makes sense, yeah.
And Fabbe still thinks you're like a master hacker who knows how to edit every single copy of Allies.
Everyone who has seen a single one of my Let's Plays or something knows that I don't know how to technology.
That's true.
Yeah, but Alex, definitely read my Old Republic one. I need feedback.
I will.
I would say it's pretty damn good. And yeah,
Sure
those 2 books together, like these 3 books, Old Republic, Prequel Era, Post Endor, already 900 pages. And Rebellion Era, my text document is already over 130 pages.
God,
you haven't really started yet.
No, remember, the first part of it is Profiles in History, which is the life stories of Han, Lando, Luke, Leia, and the droids. I mean, I also, in the back, I already inserted the Alliance Triumphant, which is Return of the Jedi and Truce at Bakura, which is where it ends, and it then goes into the post-Endor chronology in the next book. And I also inserted the timeline of works, the list.
Yeah.
So that also fills a couple of pages, so yeah. Okay.
But I mean, once we get past this first year or so...
Then it's easy.
Then, I mean, and not just easy, then are there even that many stories left?
Not really. Should I open the fucking...
Yeah, because I mean, of course you have the rest of the Marvel comics. You have Shadow of the Empire.
Yeah, that's a little bit tricky, I guess, but can work. Okay.
Oh yeah, that is true. Because Shadows of the Empire really makes it seem like that's the one story you have between Empire and Jedi.
Yeah, we have 1 year, so
yeah, and that doesn't really work with the Marvel comics, but whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we forgot to insert Tatooine.
There's the Ewok cartoon.
Wait, I'm gonna insert Tatooine. Oh, I don't know how to do that because that story isn't it completely useless to the overall the Ewoks show? Isn't it completely useless?
I don't think it has any ties to any the Star Wars thing.
If you're not including planetary storylines in SWTOR, you shouldn't include a moon storyline about the Ewoks.
That's true.
I'm just gonna insert Tatooine Sojourn here.
There's like 1,000 short stories.
Yeah, but most of them about characters who aren't important. And I mean, I'm looking for galaxy important events, but
there's obviously Ewok novels.
Don't matter.
There's
the
Ewok
Ewok
novels?
comics.
Yeah, one Ewok
junior
chapter.
novels.
Oh yeah, that's the one time travel where they meet 3PO and R2 from the past and the future.
There's
sounds
the
amazing.
Ewok comics,
hmm
Caravan of
Oh,
Courage.
yeah,
of
Alex.
course.
By the way, that's true. That was a crossover in the 80s with the Droids and Ewoks children's comics.
Oh.
3PO. It was a crossover. It started in the Droids comic and got concluded in the Ewoks comic, and there is an actual retcon. I think it was by Pina or someone. There is the Endor Gate. It's a space anomaly. It's used to explain time travel and also how the glove of Darth Vader ended on the fucking duck Mon Calamari in Glove of Darth Vader.
That's amazing.
And the only reason they
They
did the
actually
time travel,
explained Jedi Prince. Oh, that's
yeah,
amazing.
they did this a lot. And the only reason they did time travel in the Droids and Ewoks comics is because those two shows take place a couple years apart, apparently. But they wanted a crossover meeting between the characters already. I don't even know how this works with Return of the Jedi, because they would remember 3PO and R2.
Well, that's why they think he's a god, because
Is
they
it?
already met him.
Oh.
I don't know Ewok lore.
That would actually be fun. But yeah, that's an insane thing. And I already inserted that in the Droids chapter of the chronology.
So
And then there's
include-
Bounty Hunter Wars, of course.
Bounty Hunter Wars, that's still in the 6 months period.
No, I mean the second part of Bounty Hunter Wars. Don't you have to include that too?
That's also in 6 months. I just put Bounty Hunter Wars in the 6 month period.
No, I think he means the post episode 6 part of it, right?
Yeah.
That's in post episode 6. That's fine. That's already done.
There's Mara
Star Wars-
Jade by the Emperor's Hand.
Ooh,
oh
that's true.
fuck!
But no, that's mainly set.
Oh yeah,
showing
that's
Return of
post
the
Endor.
Jedi.
Post Endor. It's done. It's included. I was thinking, what One Tales comic that I may have to include.
The Mara
What
Jade
is it?
one.
No, Extinction. The Darth Vader hunting the Dark Woman, Jedi lady.
Oh, the one everyone likes.
Yeah. I have to
Good.
insert that. That's the one with a 16-year-old Mara Jade who looks
Yeah.
like a porn star.
Isn't that even written by Timothy Zahn?
No, not that one. I think that one was written by.
Because
some
Timothy
other
Zahn
guy.
did do some Star Wars Tales stuff, didn't he?
He did one. He did
One,
Mara
yeah.
Jade and Night on the Town, which is post Endor. Okay, let me see here. Deadly Reels, that's basically just a bunch of fucking. Yeah, I think this is where I got it. This is second Castle Run, Bounty Hunter of Ord Mantell, before Vader's Quest. Oh, Dark Lord's
There's-
Conscience.
There's Star Wars Adventure Journal, if you want to do that.
No. Let's just stay focused. Shadow
Splinter
Stalker,
of the
who
Mind's
cares?
Eye.
Let me check. We are still in 0.
Oh, you forgot
look,
Brian
they
Wood's
have-
Star Wars.
Wood Wars. Wait, where do they have it? They have it after
I thought Woods
Revenge
Wars
of the
was.
Jedi.
Imagine if New Hope was the only Star Wars thing that exists.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Which means it's
but
non-canon, right?
Wikipedia puts it in like 6 to 7 months after Yavin, apparently.
But
Yeah,
they're still
because
on
then
Yavin in Wood Wars, aren't there?
I don't remember
I
Wood
don't
Wars.
think so. I only read the first arc because that's basically free in Germany.
Oh
But that's the
yeah,
only one.
that guy.
Oh, Ron Mars. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Let's see. Galaxy of Fear, Empire. Okay, from here on. And this is where I got River of Chaos from, I think. Approximately 6 months after the Battle of Yavin. Approximately.
Oh, it's written by Louise Simonson. She can't have done
Ooh.
much Star Wars.
No, that's the only Star Wars thing, but that makes it interesting. Because I like Louis Simonson.
I don't know who.
I mean,
it
the art
is,
looks
but-
shit.
Although Louis Simonson's a better editor than a writer, to be honest. At least in my opinion. A
What
lot
did
of it
she
was kind
do?
of. What do you say?
Oh, she wrote. What? Wait.
She's famous
she
for
wrote Coffin in the Clouds and Hello, Best Play. Oh, so the two-part Lando story. That's nice. That's the story where the author didn't know what a cyborg is. So yeah, she doesn't seem to be that smart. River of- what is?
She's just a very famous Marvel writer from the 80s, so she probably.
Oh
got to do it.
God, a canon storybook.
Louise Simonson did. Oh, okay.
It's a canon storybook that retells the adventure of Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy film A New Hope.
I mean,
Released in
what
2017.
is she doing nowadays? Is she still writing for Marvel?
Yeah, she's doing like a Jean Grey series at the moment, and yeah, that's all I know about the moment. But yeah, she's doing some X-Men stuff. She's like one of those writers they bring back to do these like 5-issue stories in the past to get all the old fans, like bait them into reading the stories.
Oh, so this comic is written and drawn by women, so it's probably bad.
I mean,
She is
Louise
one of the few
Simonson is
women that
pretty
can
good.
actually write. Power Pack that she did, I liked. That was fun.
Editors Ryder Wyndham.
Oh wow.
Yes, 6 months after. What is the source? Star Wars Omnibus early victories. Okay, whatever.
So
Walt
there's no
Simonson
source.
did her husband. He did Star Wars stuff too, right? Did he?
Let me check. Louis Simonson. Does it say here?
I think he did.
What's his
I know
name?
he Walter Simonson. He's an artist more.
Yeah, well, he did.
He's more famous. He did the
Didn't he
cover
do
for
the
Marvel
comic?
108.
Oh yeah, there he has an article. He did writer. Oh, a couple. Started with. Oh, co-wrote. Okay. Sundown. She-Ra's. Oh, so he was co-author with David Michelini on the She-Ra Bree story line. That's a good credit to have.
Also explains why she probably got to do her thing.
Oh, he did the Kingdom of Ice pizza comic. Oh, as a penciler. Okay, he drew those. Okay.
Anyway, we're done, aren't we?
No, we have to figure out
Because
the
I
rest
gotta go.
quick. Oh no, okay. Alex, you want to stay and work out the rest of the timeline?
I can stay and
What do you mean figure out? We have it figured out.
No,
Yeah,
we have.
what's
Let
left?
me show. Okay, so this is all 6 months, and then we get to Empire is pretty forward. River of so this is all gonna stay. You say?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Empire and
Okay.
Rebellion then isn't a problem anymore, is it?
Wait, 8 months is set in stone. Set in stone. 7 months. All of this happens. 8 months. Only this happens apparently. Then 9 months. 9 months. 10 months. Spore. And then 1 ABY. The first story 1 year after is the fucking holiday special.
No, it's not. It's not the first story in that year. But let's not talk about dates.
You said after we are done, we're gonna talk about the specific dates. Now give me the dates.
No, I said when we're done with the timeline officially and know for sure where every story is placed, then I'm gonna adjust the timeline.
Okay, but for now, this is my timeline to work with for the chronology. I'm gonna reread these fucking newspaper strips and read for the first time in some cases, and to make sure where they fit. And then we are done. Yes?
Well, you have to talk to Matt and ask for his input.
Yeah.
And talk to Brennan and ask for his input. Yeah, 25,000 years. It's 25 and not 20.
Years after New Hope. Okay. That looks pretty good.
Oh, and that's right. You got to do the games too.
Oh, fuck.
What? Oh, what are there? Like some of the old
This
X-Wing ones?
Rogue Squadron trilogy of games. I
those
remember
are
one of them was like a GameCube exclusive or
Mhm.
something.
But aren't some of those like tied to like Dark Empire and stuff afterwards?
No, it like in one level, but that's yeah. I remember looking up Wikipedia articles about it, and apparently, like, wait, where is a game? They have the games on here somewhere. Look at this fucking like Spore. This is. Oh, okay. There's Dark Force. There's Holiday Special. 1 year ABY.
But again, let's not look at the dates. They're just confusing.
Not it. Okay. Star Wars Galaxies.
Oh dear.
That will be fun.
Noah's Mortal Enemy.
Oh god. I have to look up like specific stories in there. Like the Necrosis story, aka the Resurrection of Grievous, the
What the
Dathomir,
fuck?
the Dathomir Death Trooper virus sequel.
Jesus Christ! I thought that game was supposed to not have story, but be like a sandbox where you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah, fuck that. It has story just to make my life more miserable. Because now I have to look up and check.
And it's
if
not
there's
as though you can
important
even play that game anymore.
And here we are in 2 ABY with fucking Splinter. Splinter stands on its own in 2 ABY. And then a bunch of fucking short stories.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any Side Trip by Zahn and Stackpole is in here? Anything else like big? Razor's Edge, the biggest one. The TIE Fighter game. Rebel Heist. Oh no, that's already free. Yeah, so 2 ABY is completely fucking empty. Like most of these short stories don't matter at all.
Yeah, so you can insert some of the comic strips.
Okay. No.
If you want to.
I don't know. That would be messing too much with the timeline. I think they are established to be in 1 ABY. But look,
they are.
But this is the state of all of this is in the first year. We have 2 more years left, and no one wanted to write stories set in those years for some reason. Maybe I should include Wood Wars and just places somewhere there. Like just fuck it.
Does Wood Wars overly contradict things? Like really
yes,
badly?
It's garbage.
I know, but like, does it like directly go? I know it reuses shit. Like it basically does Court of Princess Leia beforehand.
It does.
Really contradict things. Okay.
I think it does. Like
Then
one,
just
I
ignore it.
remember it claims that Alderaan was the only planet destroyed by the Death Star, which is wrong because Deathspayer exists. But yeah. Okay, Maxwell has convinced me I'm not including Wood Wars.
Yeah, don't.
Maybe again, I have to also. This is about the big galactic stories or like stories with our main characters. So yeah. Oh, we have been going for 2 hours, and about one fucking
let's
year.
End it.
Let's end. Okay, this is the list for now. I'm gonna start writing because the first up until Long Hunt, this is fine. Except Tatooine Sojourn, I'm gonna double check right now.
Oh, Brennan.
Oh, Brennan, you don't need to join. We're gonna end it right now. I'm gonna share it again right now. This is the timeline we have worked out. The ones in red are the newspaper strips that I have yet to double check. Because I think you can mostly put them wherever you want, so that's good. But yeah, we split up like the Rebel Force books where they take place. And Target Vader is the last story in 6 months later. And this is the timeline we have. It's messy, but it's the best we could do, and this is what I'm gonna stick to in the chronology, most likely. Again, these red ones I may move around, spread apart a little bit. And yeah, there is literally no stories set in 2 ABY. Literally only Splinter of the Mind's Eye and Razor's Edge. Like that's seemingly it for 2 ABY. And I guess Blind Fury, maybe some of this little stuff I can fit, but yeah. Nightmare. Complete and utter fucking nightmare trying to work this out. And we already had to retcon Rebel Force Target to be 1 month instead of 2 weeks. I don't even remember Sivert's fucking explanation for it. Oh yeah, that it's 2 weeks since
Oh, it's
because of the current stay
That one
on
that
the
one
island.
works since 2 weeks since they currently stayed. Yeah.
The most important. Oh god, where? Because Luke goes to Tatooine for the first time apparently in the Omega Frost story arc, but he also goes there for the first time in Rebel Force Renegade. That is a straight up contradiction. There is no fix. I'm just gonna ignore that to a certain extent in my chronology. Yeah, short stories, but for my chronology, I need galaxy important enough events. So we shall see.
Or I guess things with Luke Han
A
and Leia,
story
'cause-
about some smuggler asshole buying ammunition for the rebels is not gonna be included in, like, it's not gonna get its own chapter. Yeah, again, it's just a mess. It's a fucking mess. To all EU haters out there saying Legends doesn't make sense. If you look at the Rebellion era only, I agree. Fuck the Rebellion era. Fuck everything. It's just a nightmare.
I think that's how we should end it.
Yeah. It's. I'm exhausted. I screamed like a crazy person. I need to drink something. I'm not gonna talk for the rest of the day because my throat actually hurts. Oh, Cheeland Lee returned. Oh, that makes sense. Similar to his explanation for Evan Peel, who I came up with a great explanation for TCW, which I would like to talk to Cheeland Lee about. But yeah.
Did Gillian Lee really have one for Evan Peel?
No, I had an explanation for Evan Peel's death. That Evan Peel we see in Coruscant Nights Jedi Twilight is actually a clone created by Darth Vader. That's literally the only thing that would make sense. But yeah.
It's at least better than Phelan Lee's explanation.
Yeah.
Which is?
His explanation was amazing. It was Sivert, you explain it. I'm tired.
Well, Anakin is on the council in episode 3.
Yeah.
And they never established whose place he took. And that's why they decided to kill off Evan Peel in Coruscant Nights, which takes place after Revenge of the Sith, to explain why his seat was vacant in Revenge of the Sith.
What?
That's official. I can show you the quote. That's what he said.
That makes no sense.
Yes.
And what is it? I thought the problem was that he died in TCW beforehand.
Oh, well, they didn't know he was supposed to die or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He also said, "Oh, we didn't know yet that TCW was gonna kill him 2 years later or something."
But he kind of blames Michael Reeves because he says like, "Well, we didn't know Michael was gonna kill." I don't know. It's really incomprehensible.
Also, is it like fucking Sam Whitworth saying like, "Oh, Karen Travis contradicted what George was going for with TCW."
But I really like the explanation that we had to kill him off in Coruscant Nights to explain why his seat was vacant in the story that takes place before.
Non-canon storyline. Yeah, here it is. Fate under debate. Oh yeah, here it is. We never fully explained who Anakin replaced when Palpatine appointed him to the council. And so we just went off the assumption that it was Peel who got the short shrift. So when we went looking for a prominent Jedi to kill off early in Coruscant Nights, Evan Peel fit the bill. It wasn't until after the Coruscant Nights trilogy was completed that we learned that Evan Peel's death would be rewritten with this episode. This is complete and utter fucking nonsense. I think he was drunk on like Skywalker wine, but yeah. Oh Jesus. Was there another quote by...
Wait, it wasn't until after the trilogy was written?
Yeah, wait. It wasn't until after the Coruscant Knights trilogy was completed that we learned Evan Peel's death would be rewritten with this episode.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
Jesus Christ. In 2011, and yeah, Coruscant Knights finished in 2009.
Maybe, I guess.
Wait, what? Oh my god! According to Leland G, who clarified the major change in continuity, Peel had been chosen to die in Jedi Twilight because he was a prominent Jedi, though he had not, in fact, made an appearance in Episode 3. Is everyone on here retarded? Like, do they think Jedi Twilight is a Clone Wars novel? My god,
God.
Leland. I want to see if his WOOC article has any quotes by him. This is... And literally any one of us could have gotten his job, and we probably would have done a better job. Discrepancies explained by Chi. Sounds lovely. Chi answered a long-debated question about the number of toes on the feet of Yoda's species. Thank you. It's great you're getting paid to explain stuff like this, Leland. Continuity confirmed by Chi. After Lucas' interview with Jon Stewart at Celebration 5, in which Lucas mentioned that Stu John and Skywalker wine existed, the two were soon after added to the holocron, as Chi confirmed on his Twitter account.
Thank God we have him.
Why not? I just added Planet Denial, Daniel, and Skywalker wine as an in-universe beverage into the holocron.
That's like his attitude to everything he adds.
Yeah, why not? Let's just web archive, show me that shit.
Five likes. That's too bad.
3 retweets. 2010. Yeah, why not? Great quote. Great fucking quote. Leland Shi at the Internet Movie Database.
Oh, and now Papa Wedge decides to show up.
You fucking idiot! You should have joined 2 hours ago. Look at this fucking mess. Okay, up until here, this is the first 6 months. After Yavin.
Mm-hmm.
And we squeezed all of this in the first 2 weeks after Yavin, except we retconned Rebel Force Target to actually be 1 month after Yavin, just so this is a little bit more believable. And we have scoundrels between the Wheel arc and whatever happened to Jabba, aka fake Jabba, removing the bounty of Han.
Okay, now we're officially done. Now I can leave.
Alternative name, Leland
leave,
Y.
yes.
Chi.
You are released.
Yeah. Bye, guys. I'm off.
Bye,
Bye.
Sneggert. Thanks for
Have
helping
fun.
out. Okay. I don't know if I want to keep going a little bit. Papa Wedge, any more comments? You still haven't made a list comment for the last streams. We just said rewatch all of this once we are finished, because your head is gonna explode with the amount of shit, pure and utter fucking bullshit we had to go through. The nicest thing I will ever say about the Empire and Rebellion comics, they have a somewhat clear timeline. They start 7 months after all of the Marvel comics.
Yeah, I mean,
had
obviously
already
they
happened.
also have the benefit that they came out after the whole original trilogy was done and after an expanded universe existed.
No. They were made during the time when it was said like, oh, Marvel, who cares if they are canon or not? They still chose to set it after the events of the Marvel comics for the most
Thank
part.
God.
So 7 months after. So that thank God. There is literally no story in 2 ABY. Nice. Again, I'm gonna show the list just here. Omega Frost is the last story before Target. The Crimson Forever backstory with Han and Chewie, and then we got Vader's Quest already. Then the Red Queen trio, and then I'm gonna double check the fucking. The next one I'm gonna read is the Bounty Hunter on Ord Mantell. Second Kessel Run was about Han meeting some blonde woman and her inventor father. They have created some technology that the Empire wants to use as a super weapon. I don't really remember. I read World of Fire. I don't remember anything about it. It starred some new character I didn't know about. Planet of Cadriel. Darth Vader is making like a drug, poisonous gas, so that people do what he wants. It's like a replacement for the Force. Like using the Force to make people do what you want. Gambler's World, first appearance of Chronal. That's easy. It can take place wherever. Imperial Servant, Lady Tarkin's first appearance. I don't remember anything else. Bring Me the Children. I have read all of these. Bring Me the Children and As Long as We Live. I don't remember anything about them. Frozen World of Ota I read today. Luke meets Boba Fett for the first time again after the holiday special. My throat hurts. Honor Among Thieves, Bounty Hunter Wars backstory, and then we have more fucking. And this is the evacuation of Yavin, Race for Survival. I don't know about these. I know, but yeah. And after this part is easy. After this. Oh, Papa Wedge, as you can see, Dawn of the Jedi, this was the most important. Holiday Special is 1 year after Yavin. Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void, 25,000 years after Yavin, as we know from Matt Wilkins, right? And yeah, Rebel Force was the worst. Rebel Force, I reread it just for my chronology so I can write it and figure out the timeline. It's a fucking mess. It's such a nightmare. It's barely consistent with itself in terms of the timeline.
Is the story at least good?
The story is good, but the timeline, it makes mentions of, a couple months have passed since this happened, but then it's a couple of weeks, and it's just... Like, it works with itself, I guess, but if you
this
try
was also during the period where the Marvel comics didn't matter, right?
This was 2007
or 8, I think.
9.
9, okay.
9 until 11, I think.
And
so,
when was it recanonized?
I don't remember. I think it was around this time. 2010-ish onwards, I think. Where they got canon. So yeah, this may have been slightly before or during that time. I don't know. It feels like, because the books leave open like time jumps in the story, where it sounds like, different adventures have happened to these characters. Because in the second book already, Luke, Han, and Leia talk to each other like they have been on a lot of adventures with each other, and not just the Death Star and what happened in the previous Rebel Force book. So, yeah, it's like the author was told, stuff has happened. Keep it somewhat vague, but the author didn't know what exactly had happened, like the Marvel run. And again, book 3 just completely contradicts the Omega Frost storyline with Tatooine. No, I can't. Okay, and this timeline is now fixed. I'm gonna save this fucking document right now. Rebellion timeline final. This is it now. Oh, this was my chapter list, by the way, Alex.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Jesus Christ.
This is part 2.
Fucking hell. So this is just between episodes 4 and 5.
Yeah. This is the 3-year game.
Crazy.
This will have, at the end of this will have more chapters than the KOTOR SWOTOR section, which had 59 chapters, and that's like hundreds of years. This is
Mhm.
3 years. But to be fair, Clone Wars is almost as long. It also has like 50.
So you
chapters.
also ignore the TCW EU books, I assume then?
No, I included Wild Space. I included the fucking novels, except the TCW movie novelization.
So Ahsoka exists randomly in those novels, but
No,
not in...
no, I only included the parts where I cut out TCW connections.
So
So
like the Bail Organa Obi-Wan thing?
Bail
is it like-
Organa, Obi-Wan teaming up to discover the Sith Temple is canon. Ahsoka's mention is not. That's what I went with in the
Mhm.
basic descriptions. No prisoners happened. Callista and the Eltis Jedi helped Pelion, but no mention of Ahsoka. Anakin does show up, but no Ahsoka is mentioned in the summary in my chronology. And same for the fucking, what's it called? Secret Missions YA books by Ryder Windham.
Yep.
Also no TCW direct tie-ins mentioned.
Are those worth your time?
Yeah, those are good. Those are decent. Ryder Windham is a good author.
Because I'm basically done with the Jude Watson ones in terms of buying them, then it's just Rebel Force. And then
Which is
those-
definitely
which is
not written by Jude
no.
Watson.
Don't
But
those
reading
even
it
have like
now-
Ferris Olin in them and everything?
It has a lot of Last Jedi characters. It's a straight sequel. The first book is standalone, Luke, Han, Leia adventure. Second book onwards, it starts including
Mhm.
a Last of the Jedi characters. Actually, the book I finished today, the second to last book, Trapped,
Yeah.
has a pretty fucking epic plot, which I kind of want to spoil, but kind of not. It's about the true identity of X7, the Imperial Assassin, and that he may be a character we know already from the Watsonverse.
Ooh.
And it's pretty damn good. Like, I really love it. And now
The
I'm just
Watson stuff in general is just cool. It's
yeah, great YA
a
stuff.
shame that it's a shame that like the YA stuff in the EU I feel like gets overlooked so often.
Yeah, because most people think YA is like trash, and it's really
Yeah.
not in Legends case. In Disney canon, absolutely, because do you know about Matthew from Geeks Attic? Like, Disney canon broke him, especially the YA stuff with like Queen's Period.
Yeah.
But he has started reading Jedi Quest just randomly, and he loves it. So
the Disney, I don't know, Disney think, because I read one of their YA books recently, and they can't decide on whether they want their YA books to actually be YA books or not. So what they think YA means is that it has to have like awful romance plots between random every single male and female character, and it can only feature like young people in them.
That's so fucking dumb. And
But at
that's
the
why
same time, like in one of these books, like the whole book is just this weird romance plot. But then in the last 10 pages or so, every single main character gets brutally murdered by like some weird monster, and everyone just dies.
wow.
So it's not so like tone-wise that's consistent with it.
That's like in comparison, the Jude Watson stuff, especially, those are just Star Wars stories.
with like simpler writing.
Yeah, somewhat simpler writing, not so difficult English, so that younger
No.
people can more easily read it. That's
Exactly.
it.
That's the thing. I mean,
The
it is like the
stories,
stories
the
are
setups, the
amazing.
emotion. Yeah.
But like for example, they barely have adjectives in the sentences. It's very simple English, but it still works. It doesn't make the story less engaging.
No, the stories, these work as like adult novels, the stories. Some of the fucking Jude
Absolutely.
Watson stuff is better than adult novels.
And also because they get so many more books than the adult stuff, I think that benefits it as well because you can tell these bigger stories with more time and character development. Because you think about it, there's 20 Jedi Padawan books, the Jedi Apprentice book. I still need to finish it. I read as a kid, those are the books that got me into EU stuff. So I read most of Jedi Apprentice. I've only not read like the last 2 or 3, but I think that doesn't really matter because it's not as though they really connect that much.
You read the special editions, you mean?
No, I only bought those recently, but I've not read them.
Okay, yeah. So I recommend
The last
rereading
one
entire
I read,
series.
the last one I read was the one 17, I think. Like that was
Okay.
that one I read as a kid still, and then I read most of Jedi Quest, although I'm missing the final one and one of the ones in between. But I know what happens with Ferris and stuff. And then I read the first 5 or so of Last of the Jedi. which was
Okay.
cool because they even have like Dexter Jettster and stuff in that.
Yeah. Oh, are you missing? So you have all the Jude Watson stuff. Do you also have Legacy of the Jedi and Secrets of the Jedi? Her
I do
Clone
have
Wars?
That's the thing
Okay.
with Siri and stuff.
Yeah, and remember, read them all in order. Jedi Apprentice completely, including the 2 special editions.
Mhm.
Legacy of the Jedi, Secrets of the Jedi.
Those have a bunch
No,
of
Jedi
tangents, if I
Quest.
remember
Jedi
correctly,
Quest
right?
first. Jedi Quest first. I'm
Jedi
sorry.
Quest first, yeah.
Jedi Apprentice, then Jedi Quest, then Legacy of the Jedi, Secrets of the Jedi, and then The Last of the Jedi, and then Rebel Force.
I remember, I mean, I did when I was like 8 or 9, I was in like some random secondhand store in the UK and I found Rebel Force book 4 or something and Young Jedi Knights book 1 through 3 randomly in like a used bookstore for like 50 cents.
Mm.
And I remember being so confused because I had like these I had the timeline with like the novels on it and they weren't on it. So I remember being like, what, give me 1 second.
Yeah, it's a shame that they never include the YA stuff on the timeline. But again, I think that would have been bloated because there's so many YA books. We didn't even include the Star Wars Missions books on the timeline.
Yeah, but those are like there's like 30 of them, and aren't they like just for like a role-playing game?
Yeah, they have certain events. Like I looked up the story because I looked up Nathan Butler's timeline for the Rebellion era. He gives little summaries of like the stories as well, which makes it hard to read, but like to figure out what is what. But one of the stories from the missions books is apparently some Imperial captain or general going to Yavin like immediately after the battle and not knowing where the base is, and he's kind of searching for it and they have to defeat him. Where it's like, okay, I can see including that in like 1 sentence in my chronology, but I'm not gonna bother like looking all this up. This is a nightmare.
I thought about when I did the tier list thing for the YA books, I thought about including them and I started, but then I saw how many there were and I was like, no. Especially because they only have like 50 pages of like really big, so they're not even full novels.
Yeah, they're short stories essentially, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess, I mean, do they even have an ending or is it like a
I
setup
don't
for
know.
something thing?
I really don't know.
So you don't own them either?
I don't own them. I don't think I could get them even, like.
Because those were never translated, I'm sure.
No. I don't even count them to be like one of like the main YA stuff.
No, it's
under
not
YA stuff. I understand the Jude Watson stuff, Young Boba Fett, Galaxy of Fear, Young Jedi Knights, Junior Jedi Knights, Jedi Prince. Like,
and the writer, what about the Ryder Wynnum Clone Wars one?
Oh yeah, Secret Missions, yeah.
And I mean,
but
there's also these other things where I couldn't because I saw there was like 5 million like episode 1 adventures books, and I don't know, I couldn't be bothered with all of those because aren't those just a retelling of Phantom Menace but with like the perspective of random characters?
Oh no, I think I looked them up. I think it's little adventures the characters have. Like one of them is Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan looking for a missing Jedi or something shortly before Phantom Menace, I think. Ooh. So there's little adventures in there, which is worth mentioning. But yeah, I don't know.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, I also remember there was these comic books that came out for Phantom Menace that had like little stories set during the movie. Because I remember I had the, like the German, like hardback comic collection thing for Jediverse to the Jedi the Dark Side story. With that one has something like a story with Qui-Gon like during Phantom Menace.
Wait, I need to drink. My throat hurts. Oh, okay, yeah. There were comics made, adaptations of Phantom Menace, told from the POV of certain characters. I remember my mom buying a Star Wars magazine that had Phantom Menace from Obi-Wan's perspective. He's talking to Yoda about everything that has happened. And I remember that because that was when I first learned drawing, and I just drew the comic. Yeah, and it looked pretty good for my age, I want to say. But yeah, that was a thing. But they don't add anything really.
We need a quality autism comic.
Maybe at some point, but first I need to finish this book, this chronology.
Yeah.
I now have 1
Is
week
your last
off.
one then, though?
This is the last one.
Perfect.
Sorry, my throat is actually starting to hurt like fuck now. But yeah. Old Republic chronology is written and online on Amazon. Buy it, everyone.
I will.
Prequel era
Only
1
in
is
German
also-
right now, I assume.
Only in German, yes. Prequel era 1 is also written and finished. It's ready to be published, but I'm gonna wait until the volume 1, Old Republic 1, gets some traction. And then I have to finish writing the Rebellion era 1, edit it, make it a PDF, and then also upload it.
Do you
and
get
then-
information on how many people actually bought the first
Yes,
one?
yes, I do. Not yeah. How many people buy it in a certain time? I get that information. How many copies are sold? And then I just need to finish writing the Rebellion era 1. I have 1 week off right now where I don't
Yeah.
have to work. So my goal is writing at least 1 chapter per day. At least 1 chapter.
That seems realistic.
Yeah.
How long is a
Hopeful-
chapter, though?
1 page, at least. 1 page.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that seems doable. Although it's, I mean, it
I
is
mean,
still
it-
it is still difficult. It's not that easy to like summarize all these stories.
Yeah,
in a
because for
concise,
stuff, because I
coherent
already
thing.
know, for like this Star Hoppers of Aduba 8, 3, or whatever the fucking planet is called.
Oh God, I read that recently. Yeah.
That's good, yeah, but that
Yeah.
story, I'm gonna have that story, the Pizzas comic adventure of Luke and Leia traveling to this world, and the Drexel Dragon Lords story,
Yeah.
because they all happen simultaneously. So that's gonna be 1 chapter.
Mhm.
Probably gonna end up like 1.5 pages, but that's all gonna be in 1 chapter. And I have to, because I'm gonna go under the assumption the Luke Leia Pizza's adventure happens during Han's adventure on Aduba.
Although I remember, isn't there like a subplot during the Han one?
Yes, I talked about this with Sivat, but that's in the later issues of the Han story where that got
Yeah, that's
introduced.
true.
So in the first issues, Luke and Leia travel to this a rebel cell on this ice planet. They crash land on some other planet first, but then they go to the ice planet and have an adventure and return. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna put that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, that works then.
Mhm.
And once you, I mean, if you manage the Clone Wars era, you'll manage this.
Yeah, I mean,
Although
Clone
not-
Wars was easier because I threw out
TCW.
basically all of TCW. Dark Times was more difficult.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I mean, I guess if you take out TCW, Clone Wars is very.
It's very
concise,
easy. It was precise before TCW came along. Like they had a detailed timeline. You could actually pinpoint in which story Padme got impregnated by Anakin. That's how cohesive the Clone Wars used to be. So yeah, that's just a shame. And Maxwell, I will not do this. That wouldn't work. That would be cheating, and I would be just no. Just no. If it says a story is set in 1
Mhm.
ABY, I have to set it there. The exception being 0 ABY because the year is fucked, and that doesn't work.
God, I mean, the Rebellion era is. I guess that's what that all people look at when they say that the EU makes no sense and is convoluted.
Yeah,
But to be fair, I think if we take it, to be honest, I mean, every story that was written before there was an actual established continuity within the EU has to be taken with a certain grain of salt, doesn't it?
I mean, the Marvel comics had great continuity with each other. Like each story flows into the next one
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
Like if you're just looking at a Marvel
That's the
comics
great thing
timeline,
about 70s Marvel comics. They just
yeah, if you just look
yeah.
at the Marvel comic timeline, that's fucking easy. Like even Splinter of
Yeah.
the Mind's Eye, you can fit in. It leaves room for other adventures. But then
Mhm.
it's everything after that's just makes it a confusing mess. The video games, especially. And
yeah, because at first
Rebel
they weren't
Force.
really.
Yeah.
I mean, there's quite a few of like the 90s video games.
Mhm.
Although, I mean, the X-Wing ones probably quite easy because there won't be much story then. That's, I guess, your only advantage. I don't think there will be much story in those games because
Yeah,
they're that
the
old.
Rogue Squadron games have more story. I think I've seen some articles.
Which are the ones? Which are the games that actually have like live action cutscenes? There's that.
I don't
There's like-
think that's any of them. I only
There's
know
like a-
Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, but that's it.
No, there's another one. There's another one. There's like some. It's also like a pilot game, like a Rebel.
Then I don't know.
Maybe someone in chat knows.
Fuck Galaxies, Star Wars Galaxies. We always go back to that one. That is suck.
But
That
when
is-
is Star Wars Galaxies even set?
All over the place between New Hope and Empire.
Okay.
And it has like thousands of Jedi running around because that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
if
it's an
we have some super fucking Star Wars Galaxies expert on here who knows all the storylines, direct canon storylines, please drop into the Discord and give me a breakdown. I already know the Necrosis story, which is the resurrection of General Grievous. There is
By the way, the video game is Rebel Assault. Thank you.
okay. There is the Dathomir zombie outbreak plot. That's the two I know.
Oh, God,
of-
isn't
of
that
the
like an
collection.
actual sequel to Death Troopers? Like the
Yeah,
characters
it
from Death
is.
Troopers actually come
It
in?
is a direct sequel. Zahara Cody, the female doctor, and Trick Longo are in it, and they help solve the problem, apparently. Han and Chewie drop them off on Dathomir, which contradicts courtship of Princess Leia, because Han doesn't know what the
wonderful.
fuck Dathomir is. Oh, set all
God,
of it in
isn't-
2
isn't it
ABY.
also-
Okay, done. I'm okay with this. No.
That's a good point. Yeah, that is actually a good idea.
You can do that for me. Have fun. Ruins of Dantooine, I think, is 2 ABY. So yeah, I'm just gonna set the entire game there. I don't give a single fuck if there's any other source saying, well, actually, it's 1 ABY. Go fuck yourself. It's gonna be 2 ABY because that year is empty. There's literally 2 books set in 2 ABY. Oh, Sivert is back.
One of the Zan ones, like with Traces of One.
No, that's 8 months after
Mhm.
Yavin. Splinter of the Mind's Eye and Razor's Edge are the only books set in 2 ABY.
Noah,
Sivert,
important question.
Yeah.
Are you gonna read The Hunt Within?
What is The Hunt Within?
I'm not sure. I'm looking at this guy's timeline.
First, I'm gonna finish the final Rebel Force book. Tomorrow. It's a short book. Again, YA, it's easy to read. And it's fun. I recommend Rebel Force, by the way. It's a fun series. Oh, Sivert, I didn't tell you how great book 5 Trapped was. I really loved the storyline.
No,
about,
I
discovering-
heard it.
Okay.
Yeah, it connects into a character from a series I haven't read. So
Again, that's why I say read all the Jude Watson stuff in order.
Yeah.
So it has greater payoff.
okay, so The Hunt Within is just a series of articles,
Oh
but
god.
it will further fuck up our timeline if you count it.
What does it do?
It says that what is it? The wheel has to have. What is the arc after the wheel? The Yavin arc.
When Luke and Leia discover the blockade, yeah, that's right
Yeah.
after.
There has to be 5 weeks in between.
No fucking way. I mean, that would work for Scoundrels to take place. That validates my placement of Scoundrels, but no.
Yeah, then we would have to shuffle a bit.
That would set a Rebel Force target 2 months after New Hope, I guess. If we're gonna
Yeah.
if we're gonna change that.
But then you might have to set it after Vader's quest too.
Oh god, that's true. We can't change that point. Okay, so yeah, fuck it. We're not gonna include that. That's garbage.
Okay. Yeah, because we can't set targets after Vader's quest, because why would he hire X7 if he already knows the name?
Yeah. So yeah, it's just a mess. But yeah, we have a timeline now. I'm gonna start writing the chapters tomorrow. Like I also mentioned earlier, the first one is probably gonna be about the Starhoppers of Aduba 3. the Dragon Lords, and the Pizzas stories, all in one chapter, since they all take place at the same time, essentially. And then I have to look up what the fuck happened in Scoundrels, a book that I have read twice, but I don't remember what the main plot is. Like, I know they try to rob the Villicor, the Black Sun guy, but I legitimately don't remember too much details. Like what Black Sun is doing.
Doesn't speak positively to the book.
Yeah, same with Allegiance.
I
legitimately don't remember anything. I know
I mean,
this was in it.
I've not read Scoundrels, but I agree with Allegiance. I remember liking it when I read it, but I can't remember anything that happened.
The only thing I remember, Dizra is in it, the main villain from Hand of Thrawn, and that's it.
I didn't even. Although I don't know when I might have read that before Hand of Thrawn.
Yeah, but I remember Choices of One well enough. That's good. That's why
I like that one
Matt.
more than Allegiance.
Yeah, I disagree with Matt that that's the worst Zahn book. It is, at least I remember stuff that happened in it.
I've heard good stuff about Scoundrels, so
yeah,
it's Jonathan Ryan's second favorite book about Han Solo.
Oh Jesus, that's the no. I disagree with that take. Not yours, Maxwell. That's good. I wish it was written by Michael Reeves or Aaron Alston. Then it would probably be great.
Or
by the way, this reminds me.
Even Paul S. Kemp would write it better.
Yeah, true. This reminds me. I recently read Winner Lose All, which is Scoundrels but better, because it's just a standalone Lando adventure. He's teaming up with the twin sisters and the Sleaze Begano species guy, and they are getting involved in this scam, and it's fun. And it's a short story. It's like 60 pages. I highly recommend it. It's what Scoundrels should have been. Is
that
fun.
even not also Zahn?
That's also Zahn. Yeah, that's a little prequel he wrote. That's fun. I recommend Winner Lose All. That's the better Scoundrels. There's another short story called Heist, which I haven't read yet. But that's also about these weird thief sisters, twin sisters, which I don't know what Zahn was going for, trying to create another female badass characters. Kind of failed. Like, they are not that memorable, but they are fine for like the heist story they are in. With Winner Lose All, at least. Scoundrels, they were just forgettable.
I mean, especially like Allegiance and Choices of One on paper sound awesome.
If they were just Mara Jade stories, they would be excellent, probably. But inserting Luke, Han, and Leia and writing them so terribly doesn't help. It's not, no. I really wish it was just a standalone Mara Jade duology or trilogy.
I mean, you could also include the Stormtrooper stuff. That stuff's interesting.
Right? Oh yeah, obviously the Stormtroopers can stay, the Renegade ones, but no Luke, Han, and Leia. They have way too much stuff to do anyway.
That's true. In general, like all this thing isn't even also like having Han and Chewie in Death Troopers. I've not read Death Troopers, but isn't that so fucking stupid because it takes away a lot of the stakes?
Yeah, it is dumb.
From a horror story like this.
Yeah, because we know they are gonna survive. We don't know about the original characters, the two that survive until that point, but it's still no. And the author originally wanted to write the whole book with Han and Chewie as the main characters. But thankfully, Lucasfilm convinced him to do otherwise.
That would have been dumb. Yeah, that's good that they.
Oh god, almost 3 hours. Okay. I have the timeline figured out more or less. I have to reread the fucking Empire series and the newspaper strips, and that's it.
But Empire is good, so...
Yeah, Empire is good, but... The newspaper strips... Oh god, did I tell you how the Planet of Cadriel story is formatted?
No, how?
Wait, let me get the actual thing.
It's in the like classic Star Wars things. From
It's in
Dark
the
Horse, right?
no.
is it
Okay,
easy?
so there are 6 epic collections with the original Marvel years, and then there's a 2-parter which is just called Epic Collection: The Newspaper Strips. So
Oh.
2 specific collections.
Hey, thank God the Marvel did that at least.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Let me just hold this fucking garbage into the camera. Okay, it's getting dark outside. We're gonna end this soon.
Yeah.
This is how it's set up:
Oh God.
black and white, and then correct, and then you have to do this and read the rest in color, and it's fucking annoying.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't like having to flip the comic.
Yeah.
Unless it's Court of the Owls.
Marcel, we've been working on it. We figured out a timeline, a basic timeline. We were just the 6 months, literally a 6 months period. We tried figuring out where every story fits. It took us over 2 hours. And then the rest, 7 months and onwards, fucking easy. No problem. We didn't even discuss it. Because it all fits naturally. But yeah, we retconned a Rebel Force target. From saying 2 weeks after Yavin, because it's like...
No, I mean, it's not really a retcon because we still go by what's said on page.
Yeah, on the page it just says they have stayed on Yavin for 2 weeks by now. So that can be interpreted differently, and now we just moved it to be 1 month after the Death Star being destroyed. And that's where a lot of stories take place, because fuck it. Yeah. Leland Chi, I should have gotten his job.
You should have, yeah.
Oh wait, let me show you quick again.
But then you would have had to deal with dumb, annoying people on Twitter asking you when stuff takes place all the time.
The one in red newspaper strip, I have to double check. Those are they can fit anywhere. Like, doesn't matter. Starhoppers, Pizzas, and Dragon Lords all take place around the same time, so this is going to be 1 chapter. I don't remember what Empire to the Last Man is. Sacrifice, random Boba Fett story. I may not even include this one, or maybe.
But you
To
don't
the
remember
last-
To the Last Man?
To the Last Man
is about
an Imperial, right? It's not about.
yeah, it's Tank.
Oh, okay. I remember Tank as a character. I barely remember anything of his storyline. Like, I just don't remember reading.
I have to
Empire.
admit, I don't remember lots of Empire as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
and then
I'm gonna...
I put
Yeah.
Scoundrels Between the Wheel and What Happened to Jabba, because that makes sense. And then
Mhm.
we have Rebel Force after the Omega Frost storyline. And then Vader's Quest's 2 months after. And Rebel Force Target is now 1 month after. This is the best I could do. Because this is a nightmare. If you say so, I'm just gonna believe you.
I wouldn't disagree. It's good that you're going to reread it all because it's pretty good, most of it.
Yeah. And then I'm excited for Rebellion, which I remember being boring.
It is.
But it's basically also still Empire.
Yeah, it has the conclusion to the tank arc, which is fun.
But then it lacks any conclusion because it ends on fucking Vector. Newspaper strips are the mess. They are... Okay, everything in red is a newspaper strip thing that I can put fucking anywhere, essentially. Unless it mentions if they are on Yavin. Because Race for Survival right here, that's fixed. That is 6 months after the Battle of Yavin. Because the base gets evacuated for good. But these in red can fit anywhere. So I just put a fuck ton between Vader's Quest and Renegade. Important to note, Renegade, I'm also counting the epilogue of Hostage because there's a time skip. And the epilogue of Hostage is directly the first chapter of Renegade. So Hostage happens, then there's a bunch of other adventures, and then Renegade starts with X7 trying to assassinate Luke, which is hinted at happening at the end of Hostage in the epilogue. Okay. And then there's 1 week between Firefight and Trapped. That's where I put Stenix Shuffle, because fuck it. Allegiance, Uprising, and then a bunch of other adventures until the evacuation, also in the 6th month. Don't come at me with the fucking video games, man. We've been sitting here for 3 hours.
Yeah, we should give Noah a break.
Are they okay? Rebel, Rogues, whatever squadron. Are they still on Yavin 4 as their base? If yes, it takes place within the first 6 months. If not, it's after.
We really don't need more stories within these first 6 months.
No, we don't.
But anyway, to everyone who's watching, catch us next Saturday, and we're going to do a part 2 where we talk about video games and short stories.
Oh god, no. I mean, short stories, thank God, for the most part, don't matter in the Rebellion era. It's all just filler and fluff. It's garbage. It's useless for greater galactic history. But yeah, I may stream some more because I have a week off now, but I also want to get at least 1 chapter written a day for the Rebellion chronology so I can get this fucker done, because I want to be fucking done with this project. It was fun when it was post-Endor. Then it
Since
was...
then it's annoying.
No, then it was still fun with the Old Republic era. But then it became frustrating with the KOTOR-SWOTOR section. Then it was fun again with Clone Wars, because that was easy without TCW. Then it became frustrating with Dark Times. Then it was fun with Profiles in History. And now it's a nightmare with the Rebellion era between New Hope and Empire Strikes Back.
Almost done, Noah. You've almost done it.
No, fuck off. We are fucking done. We have a timeline now until
Yeah,
the
we're
1
done,
ABY.
Noah. End the stream.
I'm gonna end. We have been going for 3 hours. I'm gonna end right now.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Thank
get
you
something
everyone
to
for
eat.
watching.
Goodbye. Thanks. Yeah, this is the timeline. Stay tuned for the book to be released at the end of the year or something. By the volume 1 chronology in German, which is available on Amazon now. But for legal purposes, it has nothing to do with Star Wars whatsoever. Keep that in mind when you spread the word. All right. End broadcast. I'm gonna scroll up. Okay. Good. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.